1. Cue the iCarly intro. Now, what is up, everybody? Welcome into the semifinals of the MPL. That's right, this league is pretty sick. Tonight, I'm joined by my wonderful yet bubbly co-caster. How you doing, honey bun?
Hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hopefully, better than I am. Because tonight, we're starting on Lair. That's like the one map I can't stand.
Honestly, that's fair. It's not a map I think any of us are used to really seeing either here. Most we automatically go to ban layer off the board as well here. Typically, you'll see labs more often than layers, so I'm honestly really excited for this tonight because I think we're going to be able to get some good insight on just, how these teams like to play on layer. I know just from a few games though, there's a lot of roam heavy things that we'll see more than likely here. I'm expecting a few bans as well, just because I have a few under my belt. So I have a few bans
See,
I'm thinking we might see.
as someone who knows Malevolent and has played a little bit with Malevolent here and there, just, playing some 10s as they do, I don't see Malevolent as a super roam heavy team as excuse me, their main gunpowder relies within Keegan or maybe Relic popping off. Like Ariksha and Sonic, they do good, they hold their ground, but they kind of have that star power within these players, so you don't want to heavy roam them too often. Like, sure, it will kind of entice and boost that frag power that they maintain, but it also severely hinders your team as soon as they get picked. So I don't think we're going to see them roaming. However, on the U.S. Army team, as we know, they do have 2 subs in playing tonight, as a couple of their players, they get deployed out and cannot play the game. So, special luck to those guys. I love y'all. I hope you guys coming in, if it's like 3 o'clock in the morning in Egypt or wherever you're at, you're watching. That'd be awesome. But I wish you all the best wherever you're at. Safe travels. Come home safe, my boys. But I don't know if USAE is going to have, that power, that chemistry that they have missing 2 of their primary players.
Definitely. I mean, I haven't seen a lot of. I'm gonna put myself on do not disturb now. Everybody's seeing my name and everything. I I haven't seen a lot of USAE play here. Definitely, I think it is gonna hurt them just a little though, having those 2 subs, but I think they've been playing with them for a while. So hopefully they'll at least have some of that chemistry here. Also, I do apologize to anybody watching my stream as it's gonna start like halfway through one of your sentences. That's fine though. It's okay. But I do think we're waiting on one more here from Malevolent side. So as you were saying though, is that Malevolent doesn't seem to like to roam and stuff as heavy. I'm hoping then maybe we can see some differences in some more bunker heavy site holds here from Malevolent rather than the typical roam heavy that I have been seeing in a sense on this map here. I think it definitely will be a little bit of a change of pace here, and I think it will be very interesting for us to just be able to see how both teams react to it. I'm very curious, of course, as everybody else is. Is USAE going to be bunkery as well, or are they going to go for a roam instead?
Well, I've seen both styles of play out of USAE a lot lately. But again, that is with almost an entirely different roster. I mean, the roster's split in half at this point. But in watching them play, they're more of a chemistry team than anything. These guys all know each other. Heck, right now they're probably at a LAN party together to play this game. So, from what we see of the USAE team is some very, very precise, well-coordinated executes. On the side of Malevolent, though, these guys have been together for quite a while. I mean, I know Ariksha, Sonically, Relic, and like that whole stack that they have has had a lot of chemistry and a lot of games under their belt together. Now, yes, that is a great thing for them, but I don't know if they're going to quite have that chemistry, that love and bond that USAE does to power through some of these harder rounds. Now, their timing, it all depends on the fast calls of Ariksha, as he does a lot of that game time planning. Sonically's in there as well. USAE, they just, I don't know, man, they just have that weird cybernetic military bond where their brains are just all in one wavelength and they're thinking of the color green and they just rip it.
Are we good to go?
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right, looking at the map vote, though, we are actually voted in favor of Malevolent to win tonight. At a 67% vote, they have, I think, almost actually double the votes that USAE did. And we are jumping underway into Lair now.
Times get banned here, or at least for that third ban. Of course, no surprise whatsoever, we're seeing the shield ban coming out here, as well as Cade getting taken off the board. Both really strong characters that we see banned almost every single map you play. So, I mean, I'm not really surprised by it whatsoever. I'm curious to see if they're going to try to go for a hard breach ban for the next one, or if they're going to go with that roamer. And it looks like they're going to go for the Azami here instead. A little bit curious on that one. And we're gonna definitely see a double shield ban here. Alrighty. I mean, I'm not too sure how I feel about the double shield. I'm not too sure if USAE uses shields quite a lot or not.
Yes, they are very shield heavy.
They do. So then those two bans are definitely huge here in the sense of just getting that off the board. That leaves them with a Monty, though Monties can be super aggressive if you play them well with somebody behind you. So it still leaves one on the board, but it doesn't look like we're gonna see them bringing out that Monty here, at least not yet.
Nah, I believe that they're not pulling that type of push right now. Instead, they're lining up with the Maverick and the Ace. Wall should be no issue, as they don't really have anything to even try and deny it. However, it's kind of a smart play from my perspective to stay off of that Monty, as they do have a smoke as well as the Legion on board. You know, that Goyo doesn't help matters at all for them. So it's a smart play to keep off the Monty, keep somebody that can have a gunny up, and just keep full sprinting in. Now we see a 4-man split spawn coming over here from USAE. And, I mean, Twitch just gonna start letting that DMR sing. Almost finding straight to where Keegan was setting his shield up his warden. The down below plays are already underway. Ash making way with that drone, Grim following in behind. And I mean, this is pretty much typical to how we see this team play all the time. They're a very, very well thought out and methodical team. Trying to grenade below, they will get rid of Keegan's shield up here. Playing into that small entry room. I don't know the lair callouts all that well. And there's Ace starting to rip open the wall into OBJ. Again, Ash just face checking and clearing the world. Ariksha is on the roam downstairs. And Pay and Day is gone. I got Marvelli in the chat.
Hopefully Panday will get back in here soon.
Hopefully, if not, I believe they will probably call a timeout. But starting down a man on round 1 is gonna be an interesting thing, because it's going to be hard to judge the engagement and the fight that each team will bring. However, sonically, with a quick pick coming down main stairs, finding King with 1. There is still Pin down there, who will get a refrag. G36 in hand is a bit odd to see over the R4. But now trying to make his way up main stairs, does have a lot of utility to fight up here, including a nice set of footholds that Goyo might be running over to reinforce himself, and he will be playing his gun up on those. Still, though, even after picking up a good first pick from Sonically, that doesn't help his team all that much, as they did lose Panday early on. Main wall is ripped open, and we could see Hype Deer go in for a plant, as Maverick and Twitch both have cross angles to cover. And Ash will be starting to come up hallway to stab in deep and maybe make a play behind. Goyo in position, though, to watch any sort of run-ins for a plant. Instead, they're now electing to rotate out, come around, and take an easier plant angle. Keegan being fried down by McHugh, too. One of the good guns on this team. Pin finding a second pick. It is now down to Relic in a 1v4, but gunned down by McHugh too. As we see a set of double picks pulling up for USAE.
Definitely. I mean, I was watching, if I remember correctly, it was a rickshaw there for a little while on that Jaeger, trying to go for a very long, kind of slow backstab there, which I think if he had a bit more information, he might have been able to pull off, or if he had gone a little bit sooner, he could have got that double pick. He was focused on that left-hand side when he was coming up the stairs, and so he got shot in the side from the right because they had separated out to cover more ground here. So hopefully next time if he is doing that, they might be able to give him some more information on where everybody's at here. From the looks of it, of course, we are going to see Keegan here with the $50 bundle for Valkyrie. Oh my lord. But mostly same running out here. You know, we have a rickshaw still on that Jaeger here. We still have Panday on the smoke here, so not much has changed. And the same honestly goes for the side of the attackers here as well. It looks like we have the exact same loadout on the side of attackers here as well for what they're wanting to bring.
We did see King swap off the Grim and bring out the IQ. Play to play below, as well as the counter Keegan swapping over to the Valkyrie. As you were saying though about a rickshaw in his late flank, one thing we'll come to find with him, he's a very, very high IQ intelligence player. He would do very well as a coach in a position to like mentor a developing player who has good aim. He has the aim to support himself in fights, but whenever he's in a position like what we're about to see him get entered into, where it might be a 1v2 and a swing fight against the Ash, he just cannot land the bullets. His pin will pick up his third to go 3-0. Now, Ariksha in a great position there, and like I said, the high IQ plays that matter just did not quite pull the rounds that he needed to in his favor. Sonically now being hit from a long angle by Pin. I didn't even know that was there. That's a long, deadly one. As Relic is now being ripped from, I believe that was the main wall, and below, they will get the wall ripped open. And now Relic left with very, very low HP. All eyes, though, are on Sonically. He is still just holding down that main stairway. It's going to become direly important soon as we see the IQ and Ash still playing downstairs. Hopefully going to start fighting for some control here. As Pin is making his way through. IQ now following to back him up. Maybe playing below. I wouldn't blame him if he does. That's IQ's job. And Pin now running up the stairs. Grenades coming out, forcing the Legion back. And Pin just taking space right in behind. However, Sonically is there to reinforce, but Q2 finds Keegan, and these footholds coming in handy for good old Elysian here on main stairs. A swing battle as McQ2 will lay down Relic, running in, finishing with a pistol, hitting the quick tap. King will go down to Sonic, though, and attempting to spray down Panday, but getting gunned down by Sonically, now into a 2v3. They still have live pings as well as sight control. However, we do see, I believe that was a Hype Deer in a position to try and crouch himself in. Standing tall, Mez. Pin will find Panday, but Panday finds McQ2. Now Sonic is up in a 1v3. It just cannot find the long angle as Louis clears him with a DMR.
I mean, right now we are seeing U.S. Army just absolutely execute these plays here on attack. I mean, especially in any map here, especially I think for layer here, you want that 4-2 split in your favor. So hopefully Malevolent will be able to swap some things up and bring this back in their favor, or at least bring us to a 3-3 split here. But, you know, right now we are seeing a lot of really well-planned plays here coming from USAE, just absolutely able to execute these and just take apart Malevolent bit by bit before getting control of site here. And I mean, you know, it's gonna be detrimental here. I mean, we're gonna see, of course, hard breaches are on the board. Habana's gonna get pulled out here for those hatches because they're gonna go basement. It's the easiest way to open this up, as well as a ram being brought here as well to open that floor up even more than before. So I mean, you're not gonna have a lot of control here, and if you're bunkering on site, I mean, it leaves the concern as there's going to be so many holes above you. How are you going to be able to combat it?
Yeah, the main way to take this whole basement setup is to just take everything up above. However, they do leave a rickshaw up there. He is playing as the Vigil. Now, they've got to clear a rickshaw out. I mean, you're going to see him. He loves these rooms. He loves to play aggressive. As long as he is feeling confident and hitting his shots, he will probably be one of the best players in the team on the leaderboard. Legion now, Keegan slowly coming up yellow stairs. Hopefully he's able to come up and reinforce his boy. They need someone else up there with him. Not because he needs the help, but because a team fight in a 1v4 is not a good thing. And it looks like they're not even going to clear that second floor, as Pin is already making entry to weapons side and ripping down some walls to give himself some easy angles, and now has some lines of sight into the where objective is. But really, it's only one to try and watch a flank route. Not quite something you want to attack through. However, McHugh taking a lot of damage will find Panday though, almost putting himself down to 5-2. Does drop the Frost. Not a lot of utility lost there, as she only has her gun at this point. But still, that's a body that Malevolent needed to keep up. That Frost SMG can do damage. And if we flip over here to a rickshaw, we're going to see him coming down a perfect flank route that is now blocked off. But he does shoot it. Now, if he pulls the flank, nobody even heard his gunshot go off. Not even paying attention, but we do see the Ram, or the Ash hiding behind the Ram here. And Ariksha is gunned down as he goes to retreat back towards site. Nobody left upstairs. It is now turning into a full bunker hold in a 5v3. And we're going to start to see, like I said, the pushes of USAE. These well-timed executes coming into play here. Don't be surprised if the kill feed lights up in a matter of seconds, because that is just kind of how they tend to put these rounds off. Once we get down to that 30-second mark, we're going to see Pin here sneaking his way down towards, over here where Fenrir is placed at this kind of back side door. And a boiler push coming from McHugh too. Vertical is still being held though. That is a great thing from them, as Ram is up there as well as Capital. And like I said, prep for an execute. As we hear the fires, we see the flashbangs, and here comes Hibana, surviving everything Relic threw at him though. Manages to start getting the plant, the swing in from Pin, finding Relic. Doc now rotating through. There is still a player upstairs. And Legion taken down now by McHugh, covering the plant, and sonically is gunned down. Flawless attack there from USAE. Not a player down on their side. Like I said, they're a hard team to hold up against, especially on their late round executes like that one. Once you get down to them having that sixth man, as soon as the timer starts counting down, that's when USAE kind of locks it in. Now, they're playing extremely well coordinated for having two subs in there. But when you have Pin and McHugh playing the way they are, it's a go time for them.
And so, we're going to see Ram and Fenrir getting banned here. I'm not too surprised on either. Of course, that leaves still, like I said, all hard reach on the board. They have Ace, they have Hibana, and they have Thermite. So they can use any of them to their support here. Of course, I'm thinking we'll probably see that Ace swapping to Hibana here once they do find that site. Relic on a Kavera here, that isn't something you typically see here, considering you have Deimos, you have Jackal, you have so many characters that can just isolate and pick her out once she gets scanned. She's also such a flimsy character when it comes to her health bar. She takes a few hits and she's down. So you have to play really smart, you have to play really slow with her sometimes. And hopefully Relic is going to be able to do that, and hopefully he'll be able to play with Keegan here, swapping to play the Vigil here while Ariksha's now on the Valkyrie. But it really just depends. It looks like though we're going to have a little bit heavier of a roam here, seeing Keegan, Relic, and Ariksha are all upstairs here. Two of them on first floor and one on second.
Well, a little bit of insight
be able to...
from when the map bans were going down. I don't know if you were part of that cluster. I don't know if you've seen what was going on. But there was a glitch almost off the bat with map ban, where Malevolent said himself, Sonic came in. He goes, dude, I thought Lair was banned. That's why I didn't ban it with my first pick. I swapped to a different map. Because map ban glitch, it looked like USAE banned it first. So I think as soon as they heard that and they noticed Malevolent didn't ban it with their first two, USAE locked it in as their immediate pick. So Malevolent really is not too comfortable here. That The way they're playing it looks like they don't quite have very many like out of the box strategies. Like Malevolent's defenses are usually very strat heavy, very well, you know, coordinated and set up. So I'm thinking right now they're just kind of bringing out the rank strats and going with it. The issue with that is USAE, they play a lot. They plan a lot. And obviously so far they love Lair. And in here we do have the execute coming Armory side. And still no movement from Relic yet. We do have Keegan playing over here. Gonna be slowly moving over based off the camera and intelligence they have of where these attackers are. However, they're way closer than he thinks. As we see Capital now prepping a swing, whiffing his rounds right over his head. And that will give Keegan his first pick of the game. Had a cam there and everything for Louis and just not able to pick a kill off of it. Pin now rotating over to maybe catch a refrag for his boy. We see McQ2 is in area as well. And let's see where Relic is. Chilling in reception, gonna be slowly making his way over. Now another backstab, a pick taking down the Hibana. She's still alive, but she is down for now. And he is just saying, hey man, I can just dip out of this. Going to try and maybe prevent a revive. We see Keegan pick up McQ2. Now Relic can just kind of camp. You know, they know he's present and they need to be scared of it. Ariksha does have one walking down on him. Finds Pin with a headshot, and Malevolent are turning this round into one of their own. It is just King and Hype Deer left. Two of the new pickups to this squad. And there is King taken down by the Cav. A second down for her this game. And then Ariksha finding Hype Deer, denying any sort of revives to happen.
I mean, like you said, definitely we are going to see here, you know, Malevolent finally kind of figuring out, I think, in some sense, how they want to play this map and stuff, or how they're needing to somewhat play this map. Having that 3-man roam there, they absolutely wiped USAE out. And like I said, that Cav, usually you're going to see her playing extremely slow, playing it really, really, really just in a format of, you know, making sure she doesn't get taken out. Because 2-3 shots from that, depending on the operator, you've knocked a character. And that can be huge in any kind of push that you have going on, because not only is now they're gonna be at 20 health if they get picked up, it puts the pressure that if they try to res that person and there's only 2 of them there, she has a free chance to possibly swing that, get 2 downs and an interrogation. We are going to see Keegan here on the Vigil here again. Hopefully we're going to see some more from him with these roams here, but I definitely think that roam there was huge in their favor that time.
I mean, it was a definite confidence booster. That is for sure. A little early on that lion scan, but hey, you know, whatever it takes. That's the way I'm used to seeing Malevolent play. That team that can just, you know, they're going to get random picks on you, and they're going to play aggressive on their defenses. Like I said, maybe they're starting to get comfortable and confident. I hope that's the sight that we're seeing. We do have a Grim setup, though. Here's where U.S. Army, they're going to abuse him. They have 4 intel operators because they don't want to be roamed on anymore. McQ2 clearing downstairs. We got Pin helping him out. And they're just going to keep slowly working their way towards Keegan and Sonically, who are both now chilling down the reception side. Now, I'm hoping and praying that we will see Pin pull out some Deimos scans. However, the only one he can really find right now is Sonic. And it's a really easy bait into Keegan if he scans Sonic, because Keegan can just, you know, keep rocking with Vigil and just lock him down. They do get the main wall ripped open, and Keegan going to be running over now to play it. But the DMR ripping through the wall right next to him. Clash being tracked down by Deimos, but Sonically is able to find him. Running away now, Keegan has got to stay alive. They've got to keep this roam up. But McQ2 is like a bloodhound. He has the set, and he is just on it. Coming in here for a swing and being found. Quick headshot. Does take a lot of damage now. Again, a round going immediately in the favor of Malevolent. So it's a hard one to toss away. They have a 2-body lead. And, ooh. Let's see what they're planning up here as they are trying to make entrance into the operations side. Backing the Clash up. They've got the Grim there. The Ace now running in. But will we see anybody on the room down here that is still Sonic maybe be able to pop a hatch and bring one down to him? That would have been hilarious. Clash, the ultimate annoyance in every stance of the word, is now just set up. He's got Relic playing right behind him. Not a whole lot they can do, but Relic will try and pop one with the Echo and gunned down by King. A good pick from him, as well as losing that hard shield that they have. And now they're going to start trying to rush up onto Panday. Panday really doesn't have much he can do here besides to plant the shield and pray. The swing up from the ace will find him. Now down to a 3v3. They do have Lue on the site wall coming in. King coming up. Again, Hype Deer playing with them. They've got to start executing soon. There's only 15 seconds left. Running right up into Sonically to get the pick. Stopping to pull the Legion Mine, though. Keegan and Ariksha finding him. Ariksha now on a 1v1 against Hype Deer. Hype Deer does have Diffuser. No time left. And he's going to start going for this plant. I think he will find it, as Ariksha will win the round for his team, though, as Malevolent claw their way into this game.
You know, part of me was expecting the possible knife there, considering he had the time for it. But, you know, we're not going to see anything too cheesy here. 3-2 Malevolent. One more round just to clear this up to a 3-3 split, just so that it doesn't give USAE that advantage here. You know, like you said, we're definitely seeing them claw their way back here, considering that this clearly is not a map Malevolent is too comfortable on playing. They're not too comfortable with how these sites work and just the in general of the map here, and it really shows a lot with how they've played. But, you know, I think they've started to get a little bit more comfortable with it after a few rounds, you know, figure out their bearings, figure out what they need to play or what they want to play. And we're starting to see them playing together as a team here, you know, getting those picks, like you said, having that chemistry that they really need to go against USAE. Both teams being heavy on that chemistry of just how they play with each other and play off of each other here. So, you know, hopefully they'll be able to bring this up to a 3-3 split here, just to at least kind of keep that player board a little even.
Well, one thing we're definitely seeing now is the adaptation from Malevolent. They're going to start trying to actually bait each other out. That's one thing I noticed downstairs with Sonically, and I believe it was Keegan on that roam the last round. We seen Keegan perfectly bait the kill straight into, it was Sonic, I believe, playing down there with him as the Legion at the time. So, as long as they can maintain that sort of adaptation that they had, and, you know, they don't get too overzealous of, hey, we just won 2 rounds straight, let's, you know, just play and swing everything, they could win this one. However, again, the executes of USAE gonna be what come into play here, as it is a main wall push with a Ying, a Monty, and a Glaz, as well as the Grim Bees are going to be insanely annoying. Smoke's going in absolutely everywhere, trying to cover up above. Glaz being flashed by his own team. Panday will find a pick, though, onto the Monty, as he is not flashed up above. Pin, however, he keeps getting flashed, and it could cost them a lot. He does find the pick onto Panday. The plant is coming in and coming down from King, but it is shut down by the Mozzie, who could just see him. I believe Ariksha will finish the kill. Now Pin just trying to walk him down. Hype Deer finding Keegan. They don't know that Pin is deep like he was. He is taken out by Ariksha. Ariksha pulling a double on that round. Sonically still playing above. This tandem duo here can get absolutely hot on the keys. They have Diffuser laying there. Sonically's pinging out saying, hey man, don't play too aggressive. However, those footholds up above the vert is gonna be what could separate this round, as they've got to clear Sonically if they want any attempt here. Hype Deer trying to come in and open the wall behind Ariksha. If he can force Ariksha out of pause and into the lines of sight like he just did, giving Lue a kill, they just have got to hit these shots coming up here onto Sonic. Rounds ripping right over his head. Clean shots coming too. And they know exactly where he's at. So will we see Hype Deer maybe run in? I don't think so. I think Lue is the one who's got to make the play onto site. But Hype Deer will rotate around now, and maybe a double push through wall at the same time, or one baiting the other one in. Sonic does still have a C4 in hand now. If it is called, it's a good C4 play. I don't think they've got the intel for it, though, as Lue will find Sonic off the vert.
Yep, so we are going to say that 4-2 split here. Roles swapping. USAE on the defense here, I'm curious to see if we're going to see a bit of different bans coming out for the attackers. Considering that, I think that the bans for both of the shields were heavily pinned on the fact that they know that they're a heavy shield team. So I'm thinking we might see more hard breach sided bans here coming out, and then of course that Clash is gonna get taken off the board considering she is your only walking shield on the defender side, so they're not gonna give her any wiggle room to be played. Are they gonna go for another hard breach? I'm not too sure. I'm hoping they might go for someone with wall denial though for their second ban. It looks like though they're gonna go for a double hard breach here, taking out that thermite as well, and then the Azami off the board too. Still leaves a few characters. That Mira looks like she's gonna be getting played here. Of course, Tubrow being brought out just in case of anything, as well as that Cade. It's gonna be a trouble duo there. Blitz still on the board, and a Monty and a Blackbeard, and they're bringing 2 of the 3 from the looks of it currently. Is this going to cause an issue for him on that defense round with 2 shields being brought out here?
I honestly think it will, as they only really have the Legion to try and stop the shield plays. Now, one thing I've seen Malevolent struggle with in the past, though, is that if they overdo the shield plays, it will hurt them. I've seen them before try triple shielding, and it absolutely costed them the round. I don't think it costed them the game, though, as I do believe they did bring it back and win it in the end. But they are a team that enjoys the shield plays. They will play shields quite often, I will add. And they do have a Mira on board for these defenses, though, and I don't think she's even close to finished setting up yet. Probably pinning to say, hey, man, you got the reinforcement on the wrong side of the wall here. Now, Lue is in a good position down here. Now, will it be run out? I don't think. I think it's going to be just a deep counter roam late in the game, as Pin is also kind of aggressive down here on the main stairs. I mean, it's a good setup. I don't want to give it any hate. I love a good roam here. But Malevolent tends to be more direct in their takes, as we see our rickshaw already taking up into the hallway, and he's got Panday right behind him. They're trying to maybe clear their way into sight immediately. There are a lot of long angle holes this Mira can play, though. I want to say they found the weak spot and they're going to start exploiting. As Monty comes up, tries to get active on it. He's got Blitz in right behind him. C4 out from McQ2, not finding anybody quite yet with it. And now the rest of the team is starting to come up and collapse towards that hallway. However, you see him on my screen. I don't know if Honeybun's screen can see him, but Lue is coming up on the flank. Keegan will find Pin, though, with a good quick shot. And this vert is now coming in favor of these attackers. Monty getting active and getting in there. Running deep. Eating a lot of damage, though. And could he go for a plant? I mean, there's a good possibility. However, McQ2 hits the flank, taken down by Relic on it. And Panday, now knowing that his back is covered, I believe should start defusing. Yep, diffuser coming down. They do call out, hey, they're coming for a swing. Lue finding one up behind. Ariksha making the adjustment, coming up to assist. They lose that cover fire for the Monty, though. So diffuser will not be in effect. We do have Ying walking down on Tubrow, being taken out. Keegan coming up on the flank, though, behind Tube. Ariksha now standing his ground, taken out. Panday is down. And it's just Keegan left in a 1v3. They do have him on cams, though. And the defense is starting now to collapse into his positioning. Trying to set up every angle they can. A round that was kind of favoring Malevolent if they were able to continue on holding their ground the way they were. But now they have Keegan pinned to a hallway. King will be dropped down. A nice pick there for Keegan. Not even taking a bit of damage. However, that's a lot of intel given. They just have to hope that he can, stay out of sight for long enough. But he is already collapsing in, taking the swing fight towards Lue. And a long angle from Cade will not help matters any, as that shotgun hurts. Pistol kill for Keegan, not enough as he hits a 3K. USAE pulls up another round.
Yeah, having the Cade there just bunker down, considering that he has one teammate getting pushed, timer's almost out. Definitely, I think was what won them in the round there. Not getting aggressive, not trying to go for those kills and getting greedy. Of course, like you said though, it was really looking in favor of Malevolent there with that double shield. They had completely gotten control of site there for a while. But it was just that flank that came up and it just completely tore them apart for their attack round there. You know, leaving that Monty exposed, I think definitely was the biggest hit there, kind of closing that out for them and stuff, and just denying them that opportunity. Goyo here trying to get on top of that cabinet. I don't think you're actually gonna be able to though, as he's finally given up on it basically here, just opting to put them on the walls. Pin on the Scopos though here. I'm really excited to see how he plays with this, considering I think he's going to be the only one from the looks of it roaming upstairs possibly. Is it going to be able to work in their favor or not? You know, I'm not too sure. Hopefully, you know, they might be able to get some roam stuff off here. Looks like he might have one other upstairs, Louis, castling off some things just to kind of keep him a little bit more comfortable and safe.
Well, it already appears like we're going to have that duo roam between Lue and Pin. Playing off of one another, just trying to hold down this top mez, because that holds a major point in this site. Sure, there's no direct takes down from where they're at. You know, you can't easily get basement access. However, that's where a lot of these soft floors are, is right below where they're playing, as well as some of the main hatches down towards site. So if they're able to keep themselves locked into position here, but Pin is already gunned down by Pandeas. He gets active, takes a double kill. And Malevolent already popping off to start this round. Up 2 bodies, but as we've seen off their last attack, being up bodies, I mean, it helps them, but will it be, you know, kind of the end-all, say-all here? We do see a sneaky Relic play. Will the sneaky Relic win? I don't know. Hype Deer is the one in position, though. He will be his point of contact from here in. USAE definitely slowing down from how they started this game. We had McHugh at what, 5-0, and then Pin at like 6-1. And since that point, they have not picked a whole lot of kills either way. However, Lue and Hype Deer have definitely both locked themselves in on this game.
Definitely.
And the execute coming now through Boiler Room. Ariksha clearing out some of McHugh Maestro cams. Vertical is fully open, and this is kind of a typical tape, as we will see Relic now coming in contact, finding Hype Deer, taking him down. Very low HP, and the Goyo now actually goyoed off from, or castled off from being able to come in and support. However, he's got the flank. He will find Relic from right behind, as Relic is not even paying attention to his own back. And King is just going to go in, take an easy pick onto him. Sonically will be starting to get the defuse. McHugh will find Keegan. Sonically going for the plant. Good coverage there from Ariksha, finding him, and Panday picking the kill onto King. Malevolent hanging on for dear life for this game.
Definitely. I mean, you know, like you said, when they're up with those bodies, it gives them some kind of boost, but it does not guarantee that round for them. Relic being able to just kind of sneakily get his way in there, taking that Fenrir out, and just kind of lowering that site down to 2 people only left in sight against 5, definitely I think ended up working really well in his favor for his team there. Granted, you know, he got taken out and stuff later on. They had those cross angles up by then that they were able to hold that site. The Goyo got popped. They had all of this util that they could use to keep them out of sight, and it worked for them to just win that round over. Like you said, Malevolent here is just struggling to hang on to this, trying to bring it back here. 3-5 currently. They need 2 more rounds to even this back out.
Well, McHugh and his boys bringing almost an identical defense. However, this time they will abandon the Maestro plays. As you can see, it was very clearly easily countered last round. But Pin now setting up in a different spot for that roam. One of the leading factors to that game, or to that last round going in the favor of Malevolent, was Panday being able to walk in and walk down 2 players with an easy double pick. off of entry. I mean, an entry KD like that is just absolutely insane. However, maybe Pin goes to set himself back up upstairs. Now, is that the play? I don't know. It was pretty rough on him last round. As they're already starting now to clear out some of this vertical, I'd hope to see them at least drone it, maybe walk through it. You know, something, because you know that Pin is in that area. Clear him out and you clear yourself a victory. Drone work coming in now from Panday, as I believe we're going to see him actually prepping a similar push to what he did last round, coming through into where the upstairs objectives are. But we see Pin just chilling green stairs. He has no reason to worry. He's safe down where he's at in bunkers. He's got Lue, who's playing the bunk side, the armory side, whatever you want to call it. These dudes are safe where they're at. The upstairs clear is going down, and now Pin is starting to get aggressive. Maybe going to hit a backstab flank up onto some unsuspecting attackers. As Sonically and a Rickshaw really probably don't seem all too prepared for anything coming green hole. Keegan is over in reception, and Panday is now starting to clear up some vertical here to assist with that first floor clear. Now, I mean, to see Malevolent pull this round, again, it needs to result in a quick early double pick in their favor. Or even just something to put live count up their way. They're already, though, setting up executes towards site, which is not a bad idea. Start clearing out some vertical, but a long angle from Pin, giving them the picks up onto a rickshaw. Malevolent down a body. Not only that, they're down that Zofia, and she was just so useful at the last round. A swing fight between McHugh and Keegan. McHugh picking that one up now. And that double kill I was talking about went into the favor of US Army Esports. They now have this round, you know, pretty much saying, hey, we want to go to match point because we want off of this map. Panday still upstairs, have to try and clear this verticality. Lue is still chilling up there. Pin did, I believe, drop down to his other bot in sight. So a late round flank from him is still a very good possibility as long as he can keep himself alive here. Coming into a tap fight match against Relic. However, Relic does get pinned in and taken down from the vertical by Lue. And now it's just Panday, you know, doing everything he can to try and clear some verticality. Sonically gonna have to rush into sight as there is no time left on the board. McHugh playing a wrap position, does pick up the fuser, and we'll see Panday go down as he tries the hot drop hatch straight into where Hype Deer is chilling.
Definitely. I mean, getting that roam clear out, taking Pin and Louis down, I think is what they need to be focused on most, you know, especially if they know they're going basement. You know for a fact those two are going to be roaming, and those two are going to cause you the most issues when it comes to those late rounds, especially using that Scopos. She can go back to her original drone back in sight with a moment's notice to help her teammates out here. So, you know, you really want to get those two picks, and you want to get those two down here for Malevolent side and stuff. Like you said, though, is that, you know, if it gets to a certain point, it kind of tips that scale, and USAE is just going to kind of go for those picks here. We are going to see Pin, though, swapping off those Scopos here as they go back upstairs here again. Bringing, of course, that mirror out. Hopefully they will reinforce the right side of the wall so that the mirror is not forced to place it elsewhere here. Looks like we are going to see MC or McHugh here setting up for it, making sure that these are reinforced the way that he needs.
That's exactly what he just did too.
Yeah. Interesting enough, we are going to see a rickshaw here bringing out the Habana. You know, we've seen two basement rounds, and they didn't bring Havana, I don't think, at all whatsoever. And then now that they're upstairs, they're bringing this hard reach out instead. You know, I'm a little bit confused on it, but granted, you know, there's plenty of walls you can open up. They have a 2-round Arcade on the board. It's going to make it really, really difficult to get those walls open, because you're going to have those two more than likely playing together with that, you know, util and that availability just to keep hold of that wall for the entire round. Of course, Panday, though, on a blitz here, bringing that shield back out. Hopefully they'll be able to play a little bit better with that shield take here. Looks like we may see a similar shield take here as well.
Yeah, it's still very early in the round. but they're already droning in deep. You know, acting like they're already late round. They don't even care about what's going on around. They just care about getting towards site, and that will cost them dearly as Hype Deer hits a long angle, taking out one of the most vital pieces for an execute right now, their Lion. Sonically on those DMRs is absolutely gifted, so to lose him early is a bad shout. And we see Tuberow now lining up a very similar angle to maybe hit onto Relic, as Relic is now pushing his way towards. Misses the impact, though. So wall is not coming open. They want to make this a softball, an easy rotate and an easy push. And Keegan is now leading the way in here. He's typically their go-to guy for getting these early round rush and picks. Panday and a rickshaw over on the R6 hallway side. As Panday is just doing the little blitzy dance. They do have Pin chilling down below bunks, getting ready to rush his way upstairs on a late round flank as soon as he hits the calm that they're taking towards site. I believe we hear a C4 also on the ground somewhere nearby. Can't tell whose it is, you can just kind of hear the buzzing.
I'm pretty sure it's pins preset on the ceiling.
It would be. But Panday does get an angle, finds one. We do see Hype Deer go down. King picking another kill with that Kaid shotgun. And Panday has got to hit a long angle shot here to take King out. He's doing God's work with this blitz, rushing down and finding the kill onto McHugh. Again, Hype Deer is now revived. Whew, if he was still down, things could have went ugly. But he is doing his very best to try and pull this round in favor for his team. They do have King and, Hype Deer now laying here, and will find Panday as he runs past, giving map 1 to US Army Esports for a 7-3 victory. Good map, everybody.
To our second map here on Chalet.
I believe map 2 will be Chalet, yes.
Yes, and then our final map will be the border. Yeah, trying to remember these.
You remember them?
Vaguely, sometimes here and there.
Oh yeah.
But
What's
I
map
think
3?
we are gonna go into the border.
Are you sure?
I think. Yeah, cause they banned cafe. Yeah, it's border.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
Are you positive?
Why are you trying to make me double guess myself here?
Because it's fun.
Yes, I am positive. I am positive.
You're right. That is the map.
That's what I thought. Alrighty, but as we take a little bit of a break here, I am gonna take a snack break real quick and eat a cupcake.
What? Wait, are you doing the chocolate or the vanilla or the whatever one?
I think I'm gonna eat the chocolate one. Yeah, I have mini cupcakes. They're great.
A lot of that game was just USAE overpowering through some of the Malevolent holds. Like I said, there was some good late round execute stuff that happened, but a lot of it was just winning some, hard fought 1v2s. Like Malevolent was never in a position to take an even fight throughout most of that. Their their early round picks were usually going in the favor of USAE. If not, they would pick a couple kills, but then USAE could just easily walk their way in for a refrag onto those roamers as they try to rotate away. Now, with Chalet being the style of map that it is, we're going to see more of a point defense system where you're just going to be holding one whole side of the map, not giving up an inch of ground. Like Lair, it plays weird. It plays like a map where you got to almost direct hate towards site. There's not a whole lot of defensive ground that you can lock your heels into and say, this is mine. Chalet, it does offer that ability upstairs in the office. So I expect some good heel dig rounds. I expect US Army to lock it in on these defenses, and I wouldn't be surprised if they 5-1 split into their favor. However, if there is a 4-2, it will be for the attackers, because I know Malevolent has some very good attacking plans for this map. It is a map that they love to play. I think every time I've cast a Malevolent, it's been for this map. So I'm expecting some very, very big and good things from Malevolent here. They might be having a substitution. I'm not quite sure. We're currently just waiting to see what happens.
I figure most of the time, usually people leave the game to restart or stuff because their mouse is buggy or stuff like that. So Hopefully it's just that they're restarting or they're just, you know, taking a small break out of the custom game real quick. There's nothing going on and stuff for anything saying that they are getting any subs, so I don't think they are. Of course, like you said though here, you know, we're hoping Malevolent will be able to bring this back here. It'll bring us to that third and final map here as well, bringing us to that tiebreaker for the semifinals, which in some sense we kind of want to see, right? You want to see these nail biting, just gritty games going back and forth where it gets down to those last few seconds to have to make things work. Of course, you know, USAE was able to use that layer game, I think, in their advantage, considering how Malevolent clearly did not feel comfortable on that map. And I think it's just a very smart play from USAE, you know, using a map that you're, you know, somewhat comfortable on, or at least more comfortable on than another team, can throw things in your favor in that sense, and it definitely did here. So hopefully Malevolent will be able to bring this back up and take Chalet for themselves here, taking us to border for our final map. But, you know, it really just depends on how things end up here. We are seeing a lot of really good chemistry here, though, from USA, considering that they do have two substitutes. Hopefully they'll be able to kind of keep that drive up and just keep that overall vibe going into this next map, though.
Now, according to a rickshaw, it looks like they are having some technical issues. Probably again, Moss. This is why we need a verified Moss system. Moss is great, but it's not technically supported. If I remember correctly, it's actually an outdated system built back in like season 2 or 3. We needed to make an actual full-fledged, push into competitive play because it is one of the best grassroots homegrown system I've ever seen. And USAE are making their jokes in chat right now. I'd be chalked too. Man, I wish the chat could see these two going at it. It's kind of funny.
Technically, they can, I think, on my end.
Well, guys, if you want some quality overlays, come hang out over here. I'm kidding. Go see hers. Watch these guys talk their trash.
Hey, it's okay. You're the one that got pinged and stuff. Mine didn't get pinged, so it's okay.
Ooh, yours didn't get pinged?
Mm-mm.
Rip the homie.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Yeah, because I think we do have 15 minutes or so, I think is what they are given as time in between these maps. So they have that time to get them back in. We are going to see Pandays already back in here. Hopefully their Moss issues will be resolved here soon, though. Crossing fingers.
I mean, I'd like to assume that they would be, but I know they probably won't be because Moss just. I can go on and on and on for days about how much I hate that stupid system, but I won't. But you guys will hear. Like, I hate it. It's trash. Let's see what the polls are looking like for who will win the night. I believe it is still in favor, 8-4, with the Malevolent vote for winning on tonight. I mean, Malevolent's got a lot of faith behind them. So, and they do have a lot of the crowd support who's in here watching. Wonder if USAE, go ping your followers. Go ping the 12-year-old John Cena fans who just love the army. Ping them. Bring them in. Let them watch you guys play. Get some of that like Michael Bay recruitment advertising. Is his name Marveleye?
Watch his streams. So, like, you've got, well, of the military, basically.
Are you
US
talking
military.
about the
You've got
furry
Army.
guy?
Yeah. You need to have
Dude, the one who has the
USAE start
cheese
getting their
sticks?
people to, yeah, you have to get USAE. We
Yeah.
gotta get them to post and send this to their higher ups, and have this broadcasted in like their like, I don't know what it's called, but you know what I mean. Yeah, have it streamed live for everyone else so that they can have all their teammates watch. have all her friends watch it, you know?
Bro, that's
Give
what I'm
them some good
thinking.
content.
Yeah. Like, dude, I'm just sitting here thinking back to the early 2000s, like the Michael Bay Transformers movies. All just a military recruitment budget. Yo, get those kids watching some Siege. We need those Jinxie clones over there. Like, get them watching. Get some pings going. Come watch the U.S. Army team. Bring in the little Jinxies. For Malevolent. Y'all, you have a big old fan base. I love y'all. And they are trying to bring in the last Malevolent player. He did have to restart his game. That's what it was. Do you see them talking about drill sergeants in the chat, or is that just me?
They are indeed.
Daddy Drill.
Oh my lord.
Ariksha is going just bar for bar with them right now. I gotta give it to him.
Mm-hmm.
The way we're playing, I just might. You gotta love Ariksha. He does have a good sense of humor. Every once in a while. He is a dad. What's up, Jatani?
So that means that he has some dad jokes, then.
Yeah. USAE, yeah, bro. They're the U.S. Army Esports. There's the U.S. I see. I called him out. I said, get all your U.S. Army guys in here, and now they're all starting to come on in.
You summoned them. You've summoned the army. It's okay. I think one of my, I know somebody that I've got in here is in military as well. So
Bro.
they're slowly pouring in.
Did you just see
We'll
the game
slowly
chat?
get them. How many rounds is 10 minutes? We can make it an hour. Come on, another. Oh lordy.
Dude, they're bringing in the beef from Synergy, taking 5 hours from one game.
I mean, I've had a game with Synergy go 4+ hours. Synergy likes to have the longest games in existence. I think.
No, you want to know who used to be bad for it?
Agree on that. Oh God.
5.2 with Stretch leading. You wouldn't know them because they're a console team. But Stretch would protest over everything. In games, I think the longest one took, it was a BO3, and it took like 6 hours.
Are we ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright, so we're ready, but USAE is not ready.
Yep. Lue thinks his game exploded. Oh god.
Wasn't it exploded?
Or that? Oh god, McHugh is ready. McHugh is saying, "Let us play." Gamer's gonna game.
I'm just curious on the definition of this new word.
I don't know, but we're gonna roll into Chalet chat. Let's go check out the map.
We're gonna see that clash coming out for a bit. Of course, considering, like you said, that they are heavy on those shields, that they're gonna take that shield off the board. Post it. Oh my god, I love that. I need that spelling. I'm screenshotting this spelling real quick.
Machiavelli. All right, chat. We're getting into Chalet. We're gonna see the double hard breach ban as well as the Clash and the Azami get pulled off the board. Malevolent said we ain't dealing with that BS. Get the Azami out of here, and we don't even want to see a Clash ever. However, a smart play by USAE to get rid of two of the best hard breachers in the game. Two of the main hard breachers, if I might add. Oh, my game exploded. Okay, I'm in.
Oh no! Don't crash, please.
No, dude, it just showed me like a random glitch texture through the map and then immediately loaded me in.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it worked.
Yeah.
You know, we are gonna see Mira's on the board. She's gonna be brought here, especially for this gaming and bar hold. It's not a surprise seeing that Mira come out, as well as we're gonna see the Warden and we're gonna see the Lamai here. I think those three are the ones that I see most in tandem when you have a bar in gaming. If all three are on the board, you're gonna have all three in play. You have Warden with that shield, you have Lamai to protect those Miras, and then you have Mira just to continue to hold as much as possible, both upstairs and downstairs. So, you know, I think this is definitely going to make this pretty interesting and difficult, but we are going to see a Riksha. How's that Twitch here? Will Twitch be able to take these Miras out? Possibly. We'll have to see.
Well, I'm really hoping to see the specialized strat, because I've seen the Malevolent playbook once. Totally. Definitely didn't. And they have one specifically labeled for if I'm casting Chalet for them. I'm hoping whenever Malevolent goes onto their defenses that we see it come out. But that's assuming they can pull rounds in their favor so that they can maybe do a little bit of trolling. However, we do see a nice upstairs blue hallway hold. Relic already making his way into master bedroom with no contention. However, it is going to be a top mez library and library stair hold coming from USAE. They do have two guys down here playing site, but the main fight, the main point of contact will be up here in this hallway. How much utility did they bring? Let's count it out. 1, 2, 3. Not a whole lot, but Lue will pull a first kill for his team. We see the execute already starting and coming through here. And Lue with a double as he finds Keegan. Bro, they are not finding their way through here. Not very easy. I don't want to say this is a abandoned push, but definitely not something you want to keep sticking with. However, they need to hope Sonically can go through and get those Reworas on the doors to deny any sort of side shots from coming in. Losing two bodies, though, the way they did, puts this in a bad spot. One Rewara gone. I'm seeing that we need to interview Pinhead after this. So maybe we'll pull Pin in for a conversation. He did have a MVP level performance map 1. McHugh 2 finding Panday. His Malevolent is now down to just two dudes rocking the 416 DMR. And a walk up onto Hype Deer. Hype does have a shotgun playing close. Will not even have time as McHugh is just a better swing there. Taking the kill. Now it's down to Sonically having to hit an ace just to clutch, just to win. Finds Lue. Takes the long angle. But Pin is just there and lands the shot with a dock. And McHugh hits a fist bump.
And we are going to see this first round here going to US Army. Of course, so granted, they are starting the defense this time. So, you know, considering that, you know, on these defense rounds, you want to win this in a 4-2 split. They're already one round towards that here. Of course, like I said, though, we're hoping Malevolent will be able to bring this back, you know, but I think right now it's going to be a hard fought fight just to be able to bring this map here in general. USAE is working together like a unit, absolutely just taking apart Malevolent one by one there. We saw Lue with the 2 kills that he got with the Lamai there, beautifully done, able to hold that off and just deny them that pressure on library and on to mezzanine as well as the library hallway there. So, you know, just huge job there from them on this. So looks like we are going to see a bit of you know, some possible upstairs presence here. Currently, we have two all the way upstairs. We have Pin looking to possibly go for, I think, a run out or a maybe spawn peek. Not too sure on that one. And then Lue as well as upstairs here. Hopefully trying to go for somebody pushing around, trying to clear upstairs.
It will be the kitchen vertical hold above. They want to hold dining. One of the best ways to do this because it denies that main hatch, you know. They get that, that gives them an easy plant in onto the wine rack. However, Pin has got to stay alive, just doing everything he can to keep down this library side. But he is gunned down as he goes to run away. Riksha getting a first pick for his team. Taking entry now. They've got full upstairs control. They just got to do something to get rid of this guy down here in kitchen and get rid of Hype Deer down in dining room. But I don't know if they're going to be able to pull off quite that easy of a feat. It sounds good on paper, but how does it play out? And Kylo Ren's just complimenting me, guys. I might have a heart attack. Oh my god. My hero. Nice progression. Oh, thanks, Gintani, or however you say your name. Casting is good, I can't lie. But the Rams starting to try and take some vertical, ripping it open. Relic now going to be playing off this kitchen hatch, doing everything he can. I mean, they've got to do something to clear out this Fenrir. He's in a prime power spot, just like the Mute next to him. And taking that vertical all you want will not stop these guys from playing kitchen. They're the ones to worry about. They are the main threat at this point. But we see Keegan hitting that ash charge, trying to make it so their hard breachers can go do their jobs. Ram now, nothing more than just a walking gun. She still has one gadget in, but everything is open that they need to rip. And she will slowly be walking up. We do see a rotate off from the defender. Now it is just Lue, who's chilling in trophy side. But what is it that we see down here in Blue Hole? We see King about to take a rickshaw, but a rickshaw hits a perfect swing, slam down on the King. We see Relic getting gunned down by McHugh too. Now it is just Hype Deer and Lue. These two have got to definitely do something to keep a defense going for them. And Sonic playing above the couch, saving Hype Deer's life. Hype Deer, you need to get that couch's model number and buy one for your own home. At this point, Panday will be going in for a diffuser plant. They're now playing their own defense, locking it down, but Panday is slammed. Taken out. Vertical from Sonic, though, as Panday is finished. They know exactly where Lue is at this point. Grenades coming in from a rickshaw, forcing the way forward. And now he's only got one way to play this. 15 seconds left. They got to hit diffuser. And you can hear Relic coming up on the flank to take him out. A good pinch in from Malevolent to stop that USAE hold. A perfectly played round two, getting rid of that vertical to start and just make their way down the stairs. Perfect, flawless execute.
I mean, and considering, you know, even though they had two in kitchen, we saw Hype drop down eventually because of the pressure that they were putting on site. And it makes them rotate back to site, which gives you that clearing you need of that upstairs area. And so I think it worked really well in their favor here, just able to kind of push these players to be in a position where they feel like they're forced to go back to site to help hold with their teammates. Gave them the edge here, of course. You know, we're gonna see, of course, you know, a few more kills on the board here. We're still barely into the round here, but at least we don't have just one on the side of Malevolent here. Eriksha, Relic, and Sonically now all having kills on the board here. Of course, you know, we're gonna hopefully see some more upstairs plays here. It looks like we're gonna have a heavy upstairs hold from USAE, bringing out the castle as well as some others here, bringing out, of course, Cade and Tuber out for the wall downstairs, and then that Mira on board, they're gonna use her clear advantage. Hopefully they'll be able to hold this upstairs here, though.
Well, the one thing I liked about that last round, from the Malevolent point of view, they played USAE into their hand. They moved them where they wanted them to move. They played them how they wanted them to play. It was kind of one of those, if I want you here, my team will force you there. Sonically now taking the big window control. Really not a great idea to swing as he is being triple peaked. They need some people to move up and maybe throw some side angles and support there. And I see a lot of love in chat for Malevolent from Mill. It's his org. And I love seeing him come out here, bro. He's like the loudest supporter and the best cheerleader in the world. A good setup now, locking in to try and defend this hallway. Again, this hallway is the main point for the fight. Everything funnels through here. However, you need to get the hard breachers going. You need to start ripping walls open. And Relic will start that immediately, but denied by the tube. And there goes a rickshaw, finding a pick there on a hype deer. Good first pick for him. And will he make his way up? I mean, I'd hope so. They've got to close in. They need to start taking site control. Nobody's playing the piano shield anymore. But Relic is still just bouncing his flashbangs in. And gonna now start taking. The Frost rotating over to try and play this Mira in closet. We got Tubrow also making his own adjustments. Coming in now, hopefully going for a swing. Wall does finally come open, which forces him kind of out of position. And that will put him right into Keegan's line of sight. Like I said, Malevolent is a team that will bully you till you go where they want you to go. The track coming out here from a rickshaw, I believe. Pin finding Sonic, though, getting him off those windows. That losing the ram takes away all that verticality. So they just have got to, again, continue to push. Keep moving through the building. Ever so slowly doing that. A lot of that momentum has slowed down as they no longer have the window player. Almost finding Pin, though, as Keegan ripping rounds down there with the Ash. But Pin is just continuing to be aggressive. Finding a down onto a rickshaw. Evening live count up. But a rickshaw will get revied. And a double or a swing coming back from Pin. Now Castle, the one being tracked out, they know exactly where he's at. And a Relic will lose him as he swings the wrong way. However, we do see Keegan find Lue. I believe that was off a vertical play here. And a C4 prepped and ripped somewhere on a ceiling. Not a whole lot of time left. Getting ready to drop the hatches. McHugh2 eats a lot of damage. A double push down Trophy's side. Grenades and flashbangs all landing at once. The cross angle being held. A rickshaw is in, though. Keegan will close the round out for his team. I mean, he's just showing off at this point.
Definitely. I mean, you know, Rickshaw was there. He was stunted by that frost mat, so I was a little bit concerned seeing him try to drop the hatch there. Able, though, to use those grenades that they have in pocket to help keep him a little bit safer on that drop there. And then Keegan just absolutely just cleaning that round up there. Beautifully done. We're gonna see, of course, they are gonna take that Deimos off the board. Considering that he has been somewhat of a thorn in their side, that's not a big surprise here. Of course, Fenrir as well is gonna get taken out here, but it still leaves up quite a few characters on the board. They still have the Warden, they still have the Doc, they still have the Mira. Of course, they're not going to bring her here currently, which I'm kind of intrigued by that, considering that it played pretty well for him, you know, having the Mira there, of course, Warden with the shield so that the Wamai can play it behind that again here. Are they gonna be able to give Lue 2 more kills here again because of that shield? You know, that shield I think was one of their biggest spots here when they played last time on Gaming and Bar. So hopefully we'll see a little bit of a change here, possibly be able to see Sonically get some of these roars down and get these pushes and clear out top library and mezzanine here. It really just depends.
What I wouldn't give to be a fly on the wall during those ban phases, because you know there's some good strategy going into it. You know there's a lot of thought going into it. Or it's like most ban phases and, hey dude, they just rolled us with a Deimos. F that guy, and a ban comes out. Or, hey man, this Fenrir is ultra annoying and they love crushing it. F that guy, and they ban it. Right now, though, we see a Rickshaw ripping out that DMR and trying to get active with it on Lion. He's a utility piece that they really cannot afford to lose early, so he's got to stay up. Making a smart play to rotate away from the gunfire that he created to, you know, hopefully clear out some verticality. You need to get these guys out of library if you want to have any chance at taking some of this map. But with the drones coming in, and Keegan, from what I remember and what I've, you know, heard of them, is that they will just run a drone in front of Keegan. He becomes their Ashen. As long as there's a drone in front of them, he will get the kills off of it. A little bit of a messy round, I'd say, but hopefully something that they can, you know, take in and just get in there and pull. They have a live ping on the dock. They know that he's just going to be chilling top mez. Will we see a top mez walk up through main? It's a good possibility. But a lot of utility now being sprayed. Panday being taken down by Pin. Luwei going for a swing on the Relic. Pulling 2 bodies almost immediately. With King saying, hey man, I'm just going to impact these rewards for you. The reward is a major point of their attack. It's a major aggression point for them. And they just keep losing them. Like, they can't keep them on the doors.
It's one of the big reasons you see that Wamai coming out here is because of those impacts being able to take them out, though.
That and Luwei is just a goat with that MP5.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's swinging things I couldn't even imagine. And winning them like that. Ariksha now down to a 1v5. I'm assuming, as you can see, he's just kind of crouching himself into a corner to talk. This is a tack timeout. That's all it is. Yeah, it's a tack timeout. So let's flip over to this defense real quick. I mean, a very, very aggressive setup hold. Lots of barbed wire to just, be a general annoyance, as well as give you some intel. The Melusi setup, trying to take this main hallway is an absolute pain, and looking at it, there's no easy way to do it. No matter what, you're gonna lose bodies, you're gonna cost bodies. Flipping downstairs here towards site, into site, runs into about the same issue. Sure, they don't have a Mira. Oh, well, she doesn't need to be played here. These guys are proving it. The head holes everywhere, and their aggressiveness, their ability to just swing and take the fights. USAE is setting up to be mean here.
Mm-hmm. They have that utility on the board, and they're just gonna abuse it at that point.
I mean, do you really blame them, though?
Not really. I am slightly surprised considering that we didn't go into a timeout here, but I think we might see it coming out here still at the end of this round. We'll have to just kind of wait and see here. Of course, like you said, though, more than likely with the Rickshaw just kind of cornered and sitting there in that corner, AFK in a sense. I think we did see them kind of do a little bit of attack time out there, just wasting out the rest of that 40-something seconds they had on that board here.
Typically, I mean, Malevolent is a team. Their attack timeouts aren't used because they're chalked. It's attack timeout because they're noticing their issues. So they're a team that walks out of those with a high win rate. Now, is it 100%? No, because there are teams that do overpower them. However, last time we seen a basement come out, I believe it was Malevolent who won it. Yeah. So already, after winning one basement attack, and then coming off a timeout, statistically, they are proven to maybe have a good shot at winning this round. And with all the gear that they're bringing, between a fuse, a ram, and then the hard breacher of Habana, I got a feeling that they are going to get the ceilings opened up and hold on for dear life. Pin is going to be the hard aggressive roamer up here on the Jaeger, holding up second floor. With Luwei chilling and dining. I mean, Luwei, I don't want to say he's an easy push out here, but there are so many angles that he has to hold, and while he's by himself, it's almost impossible to do so. So hopefully Pin, makes the wise idea to start pushing back to his teammate and doesn't get first picked on his lonesome. There's a lot of angles, again, for he himself to hold, but he does pull a good power position in holding these library stairs, because now there's only real 2 ways to swing him. You gotta pick one. And you hear Ariksha and Malevolent now making their pushes around the map, immediately converging on Pin because they droned him out first. Ariksha is the guy in gaming. We do have Relic upstairs in piano, Keegan and top mez, setting up to hopefully push this guy out of library. A double pinch between Ariksha and Keegan would be key here, but I honestly don't think we're going to see that coming, as they don't seem too concerned about the guy on library stairs, as he's now rotated back towards the, kind of elbow downstairs. But with Ariksha now playing off his own drone, gonna start swinging up. They do still have Luwei chilling in kitchen without even a thought really going towards him, except now Relic does know he's there. We'll keep eyes on Panday trying to hold a long angle towards them. And they're now holding these defenders back into where they need to be. Floor's opening up from Sonically right above to where Luwei is sitting. And he's just saying, you know what? I don't need to hold this. and retreats himself down West Main back to OBJ. A double swing from McHugh, and Penn will find a kill onto a rickshaw. The Fuse didn't even get a chance to light one charge off. Such a good piece of utility for attacking this site. Just immediately gone. And we'll see Panday hitting the Hibana trick, the whole wall coming open, almost like a fuse or a thermite would. But just slightly off and not actually getting the trick done. That one hurts. Panday now taking the aggressive, coming down library stairs. We'll see Keegan get a pick here on the bottom library stairs. And Panday is now in on OBJ, going for plant where it's safe at. Nobody can easily swing him as they have Ram, played by Sonically, holding down in the small room, getting a double pick there. A swing from the way, finding one, but Sonically will hide in his teammate's corpse like he's one of those things from Star Wars and manage to pick up a kill.
We are seeing a somewhat reverse here, though, from Malevolent. 3-2 currently, looking in their favor on these attacks here. It seems like both of these teams are pretty heavy on their starting attacks, at least. And so it definitely, you know, makes you question, you know, how's their defense going to be, considering they are really strong on attack here. Of course, you know, they have had moments where they've both been very strong on their defense as well. We are going to see a roam here from Penn from the looks of it, so really excited to see how that goes for them. Of course, we've seen Penn roam quite often. He seems to be their main roamer on the team here, so hopefully you'll be able to get a pick or two here from that. You know, we saw him working with McHugh too as well on that last round, double swinging a rickshaw and able to get out with about 50-ish health still on his bar and stuff. But, you know, hopefully we'll see some more of these, you know, double swings, double pushes, and stuff like that. They work really well in their favor. It doesn't look like we're going to see Penta roaming too much here, possibly.
Well, Pin is chilling down in Car Garage right now with that Scopos drone. Which you don't hate to see, but it just means you're going to see him play super stupid and super aggressive. Punching open now to try and find a hole towards that top roof there over library, which is a very, very common rappel spot. Quite the angle, I might say. But with all defenders down in basement, as soon as Malevolent drones this out, it's, gonna be a bit of a hard clear and immediate site take. However, I don't know where the other Scopos drone is at. I don't know if he left it upstairs or if he put it down in sight. I think, it is still down in sight. So Pin, now having the information he does, will maybe pull off, and he can see the head of a rickshaw, but a rickshaw manages to survive.
Barely living through that.
You know, he's up. He's got his gadget, and he's got his gun, with, I believe, 2 frag grenades in his pocket. So a rickshaw is still a lethal weapon. Even if he doesn't go for any swings, he can still just whack a hole and drop a nade through it. You know, it's like Easter.
Few months late, but yeah.
Well, or am I early? I love seeing the trash talk in the chat right now of Moo going, yeah, baby, Malevolent on top. And then Jitney going, it's not that, they have 2 subs in. Like, these 2 teams were I was super excited. I mean, I had this game called before it was even booked, because I was just so excited to see how they play. Looking over here, we got Pin now coming back up on this roam. He is live drone, and we got Sonically moving over to try and take a swing onto him. I don't think we're going to see much of a double swing coming, though, as Pin will make a smart retreat, coming back downstairs. Again, a full bunker hold. They really don't have a whole lot of purchase, though, on this defense. Relic does get a ton of damage from down below, sonically ripping open the floor right above where Smoke is standing. And they have not even started site execute yet. We have 30 seconds left, or 20 seconds left in this round, and they haven't even made their way to site. I don't even know if main wall has come open yet. I don't think he has because of the Two-Brow and Cade mix. But with all the smokes going on, Hype Deer will find Sonically. McQ2 with a shotgun pulling one. Ariksha finding Pin. Keegan and Ariksha going down though. Luay burning them up. We'll see a 3-3 split for these defenders. Way too much happened.
A little bit different, but definitely a lot happening there in that round. You know, 20 seconds on the board. You still have a 5v5 situation. Granted, you've got two people that are absolutely low out of their minds. Ariksha hanging on by a thread, and then Relic, who also had gotten lit up by, I'm pretty sure, Pin when he had rotated back downstairs. So, you know, definitely a very rushed round. That's when you see all of these picks start going up, and it just ended up going up for USAE's favor this time. Of course, we are gonna see the shield ban coming out. Are we gonna see a secondary shield ban as well, or are they gonna leave two of them on the board? It looks like they are gonna go for that double shield here. Both Blitz and Blackbeard off the board. That only leaves them with that Montagne, which we have seen them bring the Monty out, but they're not typically bringing him into play. It does leave, though, all of these hard breachers again on that board, and they're gonna bring the ace.
I mean, I don't blame him. The ace is one of the best hard breachers in the game. He's got that speed that you need, as well as one of the best AORs in the game to back it up. What I do like, though, is that we see a Swiss Army knife on this defense, played by Ariksha. What is that, a shield in pocket, as well as a C4? Hopefully a good roam from Ariksha this time. He's been a player who is, you know, hitting and missing quite often. So if his backstab works the way it's supposed to, this will be a legendary round for him. A bit of an odd setup up here for this blue hallway, but I don't hate it. A very, very aggressive hold for the office bedroom side, as they have all of library ripped open, as well as Keegan just hitting the dance floor over here. That's right, Keegan. You dance. Do your little dancey dance, bro. You need to. Gintani, join my Discord and send me a DM. I'll talk to you. Ariksha, the man playing downstairs now, kind of by himself in this kitchen hallway. He's got to stay up, as they're now starting to rip the windows next to him. If he manages to find a pick off of this, though, things could be absolutely legendary. However, he just cannot give up too much ground. And he cannot be too worried about where this push is coming from. He just has to stay alive and stay cool and collected. Panday helping cover his trophy jumping. I believe Relic is now coming to help his Westman jumping. Ariksha just needs to stay up and stay alive here and maintain good posturing. Panday, or who is that? Keegan coming down now into the elbow hallway. And hopefully he's able to find a pick here. There is one in his bar stalk back there. Both of them just whiffing past each other a little bit. I believe that is way up. Getting rid of the Dokubi here, it would be a massive pick for him. However, it's a little bit of a hard swing. Not really something he can easily, confidently just walk into, because there are players from all around him. A triple swing almost coming up to him. A DMR kill there from Sonically, finding King, but Pin finding him. Refrag, good pick there coming from a Q2 as he walks in on Keegan. And that was a nice attacking collapse. Not very often do you see attackers collapse onto a defender. The Q2 will be clearing out that blue hallway utility, getting rid of the shield, and here comes the push. Ariksha still up. He does manage to fall back trophy stairs, and now blue hall is being flooded in. McHugh is right there. He's got Luay right behind him. Pin trying to clear downstairs. McHugh finding one, however, relicking a refrag for him. Trying for the long angle fight, but Luay has that DMR. It's a little bit hard to beat at that range. And now it is down to Ariksha. Finding Luay. Coming around. Getting a swing onto the ace, but not hitting the shots he needs to. His Hype Deer will take him down as US Army pulls an attacking round in their favor.
Oh my gosh.
Machiavelli is here.
If he was able... Machiavelli. If he was able to just get that just a little bit further for that pre-fire there, I definitely could have seen a rickshaw being able to pull that to a 1v1. You know, it just was barely off on that swing. The ace having absolutely no clue he's over there, not even paying attention or looking in his direction. You know, really could have worked out in his favor, but he just wasn't able to get the shots that he needed down on there. Of course, though, getting that Dokkaebi off the board and then having that diffuser dropped, I don't know if you noticed that either, is that Dokkaebi had the diffuser, so that gave him, in a sense, diffuser to hold on to that he could have played later on if he was able to get that ace, which could have been really huge in that 1v1 for Malevolent. Of course, like you said, though, it gives that round over to USAE, giving them that advantage here currently. 3-4, though, so it's not that much.
It's not that much, but that is an opening statement to their defenses. However, we do see another blue hallway hold coming. You know, not something that they really got to play all that much. We seen Panday running up to try and hold it, but just as he got there, it was immediately taken out by the Ash. No dancing from Keegan this time, as he is now locked in. Panday, I'm looking at you here, kid. You too, Relic. If you guys want to keep Malevolent competitive in this tournament, or in this series, you gotta pick the kills. I'm not calling you out directly, I'm just saying. The stat line's gotta stay up to keep Malevolent fighting. Downstairs, we got Pin, one of the main entry frags for the US Army team, coming in, but a rickshaw on his roam will find him for a first pick. That's what we like to see from this man. Those are those late, like those weird round backstabs that he likes to pull.
Considering watching Pin last round, he did the exact same move where he was all the way in basement looking up that hatch. I think at that point, a rickshaw just knew he was going to be there, and he just waited.
Louis will hit a quick pick there on a dock. He's seen his shoulder as he came around the corner. And a rickshaw, still just chilling on the stairs, puts a ton of damage into Louis. Not enough to take him down or find him, though. Hatch is being blown around Louis. He's not got a lot of room to play with. And now a rickshaw making the smart play just to run out of there. King will be found by Keegan. Malevolent now starting to take off on this round. I think I have a glitch on my screen. Or no, that's just the McQ2 tracking a rickshaw that I just cannot, you know, see on my screen. But Panday will find McQ. You know, we're going to see Malevolent now get a little bit more aggressive. This is the way that they usually play their defenses. Once they get up on lives, their roams play more aggressive. They start going back around. But Panday will be gunned down by Hype Deer. And now Lue coming up in through library side. They don't have a rickshaw playing downstairs. He is still on library stairs, though. And Keegan is just going to go for the swings. Surviving, but just barely ripping Louis apart. And now it's just Hype Deer left in a 1v3. Question, if you're US Army, you're up on lives. It is a 1v3, or up on rounds. It's a 1v3. Do you use this attack timeout? It gives Malevolent a round, but it gives you a moment to talk. And it won't matter as Keegan hits a wall bang. Absolutely dirty. I think that was off the sound of him dropping, though.
I am pretty sure that is indeed off the sound of him dropping and running on the roof there. Granted, you know, if you have good headsets for this game, you're going to be able to hear those feet, and you're going to hear when somebody drops. And so it leads to some of these nasty picks you see through just absolutely no intel from the base look of it. But then you'll look later and you'll see that it's from the sound of things. And it's honestly absolutely just disgusting sometimes, you know. But huge just kind of killer there for Keegan, able to get that final pick, as well as being able to survive against that Dokkaebi. Like, oh my lord.
Yeah, that was quite a good round there. That pick on the dock has got to go down, though. Is a very, very good one. A smart time play from Louis. Now, sure, his team did not pull the round, but it was just a good timing thing. He's seen the dock, but the dock missed him, and then a clear re-swing back into him. A little bit light on the upstairs blue hallway hold from what I've seen Malevolent do in the past. You know what I'm talking about. Listen here, Mr. Ariksha. When you watch this back, you'll know what I'm talking about. Very light utility up here, but still enough that this should hold the blue hallway very, very well. But we got Sonic playing very aggressive over in the dining room side, trying to watch that trophy jump in, which could result in a good pick onto King for him, as King is starting to set up those track stingers, but instead he chooses to maybe drop off. I mean, you know, that'd be a good first pick for him, as it eliminates a very, very decent piece of utility. We do have a defender camera being hacked. Panda eating a ton of damage from Hype Deer, though. A pick going in their favor. Lue is extremely low on HP, but is still standing. I believe that was probably a frost mat down that I missed. And we see King making his way across. Found by Sonic, though. Sonically rips one kill. Could find another one. He has this table to play behind, but those DMRs are just ripping through onto him. He gets away with his life just barely, as we're now all tied up in the terms of HP and round count.
Completely even board here as well.
Now, we will see them start to try and open up this blue hallway. Getting rid of that shield, we're going to see Relic just the balls of this man to go for a reswing there. And MQ2 losing a lot of his utility and then taken down by the Frost, who is still just aggressively playing here. Keegan will find Pin. Riksha has a C4 prepped and ripped, ready to fly up the hatch as soon as they get the call that they're pushing this blue hallway. Lue has got to do something, though, to help out his buddy Hype Deer over here and start trying to pull in towards this objective. That is a C4.5 right there, man. I think that was a bit of an early pull there from a Riksha. But you know what? At least it landed. Or maybe it was Sonically's. One of the two of them. Hype Deer now rotating over, trying to take this big window and maybe a pick off of it. That DMR he has, that cameras, it's not very well sought after, but it's arguably one of the better ones in the game. As he goes for a swing, though, he runs himself into a double. Lue will re-swing, though, to help his boy, picking a kill there onto Relic. He does revive the downed Hype Deer. A C4 coming out. Again, the double swing as Lue goes for a grenade up. We'll see Keegan pick one. Now Lue is left in a 1v2. Not a lot of time as Keegan finds a second one as Malevolent pulls ahead in round count.
We're gonna see Keegan here with these swings, like you said. He just swings like a madman sometimes, in a sense, and he comes out on top. I'm really curious to see what they decide to go for these second bans. Are they gonna go for that Dokkaebi and try to take her out? She's been a thorn in every single round here, able to ping out where they're at. So I'm really hoping we might see her taken off the board. Of course, you know, as well, we've seen Keegan here absolutely annihilating them. We're gonna see that Jaeger getting taken out as well here. You know, between Keegan and Relic, the Frost, and then of course that Jaeger, you know, it just depends on which one you're more willing to deal with. And it looks like they're more willing to deal with a Frost on those blue stairs rather than the Jaeger in library, which, I mean, in some sense is understandable. It takes that gun away from Keegan as well, that he just absolutely fries them with.
I mean, I get the idea behind the ban, but in banning him, you leave Wamai on the board, who does his job, but better.
Yeah.
Now, the MP5K that Wamai has is arguably the better gun over that 416. However, that 416 has that cult following behind it from the early Siege player days. And I think a bit of a whiff grenade there from Keegan as he just whips an impact at a wall for no reason at all. My lip just started bleeding for no reason. That hurt.
That is not good. I also have gotten a request from Impulse in my chat whenever you get the chance to look at it.
I can't see your chat. Give me 1 second.
No, you're all good. That's why I said whenever you get the chance, so no worries. It's a bit of a goofball request.
Corv said, take us to Cafe. Dog, I'm good. The hold now from Malevolent for this kitchen side looks, I mean, not super aggressive. They don't have a very heavy upstairs presence besides Keegan, who already has McQ2 walking up on him with that Monty. However, sonically letting one rip with that DMR, finding a pick downstairs in car garage. He now has a buck to deal with down here as well. Now, these two are about to clash in, like, Duel of the Fates. We're just going to see Pin lay him out. Pick for pick there. Not bad. No damage taken for the survivors in either way. But now, it's all up to Keegan. Keegan has got to do everything he can to keep this locked down up here. He does have, I believe that is Panday up here to help defend him. And then Ariksha, playing as the smoke is on trophy side. You need to see Ariksha make this rotate over to start trying to smoke down the Monty. Anything you can do to just annoy a Monty is a good thing. However, Monty employing his own smoke grenades now to try and take space as Twitch slowly works her way up towards that half wall. Trying to get in, trying to take this main breach side. And a little bit of a game of cat and mouse here between the two of them. The swing with that MP5 is just a little bit better than the DMR at this range. Picking that one up. Pin is still down in basement, leaving the Monty all by himself upstairs. And we're going to have Pin rush up onto Relic with that shotgun in hand. But the refrag from Ariksha picking him up. And then the revive is able to come. Panday is down, but the Monty is dropped by Keegan as we see Malevolent put us to match point.
I mean, definitely watching there, seeing Pin trying to slowly creep up those stairs. He almost got the drop there on the Cade, just not able to fully finish that kill. Of course, getting that swing by Ariksha able to take him down when he's focused on trying to finish off that one kill is going to be able to kind of give him that advantage, of course. And then that leaves them with a Montaigne in what, a 1v4 situation, 1v3? And that is not what you want your Montaigne to be in. And so, of course, we are going to see him trying to go for that swing, go for that kill, and he's going to get taken out for it. So much time, I think, was wasted there with that Monty as well upstairs. Considering that site is kitchen, that I really think it worked in the favor of a Malevolent there, you know, with just how slow that entire round went.
Now, we're going to see another upstairs hold. A little bit of blue utility as the shield does come out. Ariksha must love his job playing as this jack of all trades. Because, I mean, he plays it so well and so often. Definitely a support character like they've been playing him. And he's not doing too bad at the role. With 5 assists, just lighting up the scoreboard. Keegan, though, 14 and 4. He's the man to beat right now for MVP. However, the Q2 gonna immediately be trying to take this main door here. I'd like to see a taut Mez push from a Monty. Like, now is the time to do it. Get your Monty in there. Have him start face checking and taking space. We will see King pulling a first pick there onto Sonic. Just these, you know, annoying window angles that Chalet is known for. Grenades coming in from Pin. They're now going to start trying and walk Keegan out of the top Mez area. And with, you know, the Monty there and then everybody all around him, the Monty will get dropped, though. And Keegan didn't even have to expose himself for it. However, Relic taken down. Ariksha hitting a refrag for him. And here comes some of these Yangs as Panday is able to get a good swing there onto King. Malevolent now up on match point with bodies. But there is a DMR as well as Luwei playing as the Finka. As Pin will just walk Keegan down. Good pick for him. Panday trying to get out there and rotate himself around where he needs to be. We do have Ariksha, though, playing close on this piano window. As Panday is prepping. C4 out. Finds the kill onto Pin with it. And now Luwei is left in a 1v2. However, if there's any gun and any guy to do it, it would be Luwei right now. I mean, if I was him, I'm going to pick up the fuser anyway, because you're going to need it. But I'm pretty sure I see your Corvus guys in here talking trash now on the USAE team.
Oh, lordy. I do know that they are indeed watching your stream, I'm pretty sure, currently.
Yeah.
Or at least they're watching one of the streams. I think they might have both of ours up.
Probably. Hey, thanks, Corvus, for all the support. Now, Luwei, with really no options left on the table for him, pretty much in a position where, hey man, you just gotta swing everything.
Mhm.
And I mean, he's got the head angle right over Panday, but you have a Rickshaw who's playing long over in Piano. Now, is it a smart idea for Panday to swing here? Probably, most definitely not. But Lue is now starting to walk up on him. Only 30 rounds left in that LMG, which if you got an AR, that's a perfect thing. It's a full mag. But this LMG, this 30 rounds spray rather quick, and you've got a long reload timer.
Mhm.
Electing to not even bother with it. He's just going to keep trying to make noise and swing in. 12 seconds left. Malevolent is, you know, I guess, I don't want to say well-trained enough, but they are a team with discipline where they won't just swing. We see Panday actually back outside to keep himself alive here. And then just a plant going down and Malevolent taking the map off of it. 15-5 for Keegan.
Holy.
4-8 tech issue. I mean, that's, you know, that's the Malevolent I'm used to seeing, especially on Chalet. Something where they just, you know, kind of take away those defenses and keep them rolling in. Now, going into map 3, Border, what's your thoughts on this?
Honestly, you know, considering Border is super heavy in a sense on these defense and stuff, I mean, we've seen both of these teams adapt very well. I'm really curious to see how they play here, just in the general of, you know, if they're gonna roam or not and how they're gonna place these roams, you know. Of course, Castle being a huge operator on Border and stuff, if you want to play outside of sight and try to play as safe as possible, especially on that second floor site. So, you know, I'm curious to see if we're going to see that double shield band stick again here. You know, considering that it seems to be the go-to of Malevolent is that they just get those shields out of that play. Then they only have to deal with a Monty, and the Monty isn't the worst in the world to deal with. I definitely would say the Blackbeard is probably more of a nuisance to deal with, considering he is a walking shield with a gun he can use quite easily. So, you know, definitely taking those shields out, I think, has been really huge for Malevolent side here. But I'm curious to see how they play here on Border on who's going to take this map, considering we've seen two maps where one was very sided towards one team and the other was more sided towards the other. Will Border be sided towards one or will it be more split? That's really the question here, and I'm hoping it might be more split here, just to kind of, you know, put us on the edge of the seat, making us just watch this game harder and harder, waiting for that, you know, clutch or kick kind of moment, right? Um, of course, both teams having that momentum. We saw USAE had that momentum from first game, bringing that in to Chalet when they got that first round, but then losing that momentum second round, Malevolent being able to take that over. And then, you know, Malevolent is going to be ending that on a high for that Chalet game. Are they going to bring that momentum into Border here now or not?
See, I think they will because Border is a map that plays very, very similar to how Chalet plays, where you gotta clear one side to the other. Something that, as you can see there, Malevolent plays fairly well into. Are you ready to rock or no?
I am ready to go. I think
Let
we're
me hit
just
them with the
waiting on
casters ready.
one.
I believe they
Yep,
are
I think
having
they're
another
waiting on
Moss
one
issue.
for MVE.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, yeah, Border's a map that plays very, very well into how Malevolent played Chalet. Now, that's not to say USAE won't be able to lock it in and bring it back, because they do have that momentum on their side, like how to play on their side now. They know what Malevolent's gonna try, and while yes, I will say the maps play eerily similar to each other, Border has more flank routes. Border has more cutoffs and play arounds that we've seen kind of how Lair played. That I think U.S. Army will try and push into.
Definitely. And I mean, when you bring that up, it's something that I'm also hoping to see from Ariksha there for those flanks, for those aggressive, just roams in general and stuff. Considering, like you said, there's a lot of open opportunity for these flanks and these backstabs. You know, Ariksha's going to be their person to focus on, right? He's been the thorn in their side when they're trying to focus on something that he just sneaks up behind them. Granted, he's gotten one round where he killed King and then Penn was able to just absolutely lay him out on the floor afterwards. But, in that sense, he still got that first pick. He still took that one off the board first. And, you know, when it comes down to it, it's just those little moments and stuff of who can get that first pick, who can get that man advantage. Granted, though, we've seen from both sides, though, no matter the man advantage, both sides have brought it back in their favor here from just depending on who's playing and how aggressive they get. Like we've seen with Sonically and Ariksha, they are a duo not to be messed with when it comes down to those last few seconds and they're the last two on the board. They play very well off of each other and they play very well with each other in that kind of, momentum sense, as well as they just have that connection that you see when they play together. And so, we see the same somewhat here from Penn here with Louis when they are on those roams on defense as well, is that they play very close off of each other. And I think both teams do play in a sense very much off of, hey, you make sound over here, and then I'll come up behind you and get the kill, right? And so, playing off of those hopeful, just getting knocked and then getting revived, like we've seen with Ariksha, where I don't remember who was playing Cade, but Cade got knocked by Penn, Ariksha swung, was able to get the kill, and then get the revive, which brought us to that 4v1. Those moments are just huge, having that secondary player to play with and seeing these 3-2-1 swings, they're really what can make or break these rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot.
Are you reading what's going on in chat?
Which chat? Yours or mine?
Oh, I meant in game.
A little bit here and there. I was gonna ask if you need me to shake it for him.
Oh.
No, like there are two teams that are just playing superbly into one another. Mm-hmm. Where how do I word this? This is probably one of the most like close played ones. You know what I mean? Like play style wise, these two teams have the same energy. I don't know if they have the same chemistry or not, because U.S. Army, they've got their two subs in, right? But they're playing like a well-oiled machine. Malevolent, they're a team where I've seen this 5-stack on and off, day in and day out. And some rounds, they play like they're going on to the Invitational after this. And then some rounds, they're just giving up way too much space or way too many picks. Now, they're still doing amazing. They're playing refrags off each other. They're actually getting revives down, which a revive in a competitive level game, I don't know if you know how insane that is, but it is so rare to get a knock that doesn't immediately get, fried down, let alone being able to go over and pick his body back up. So
definitely,
like, good on these guys for playing as well as they are, keeping their boys alive and just managing to continue and fight through everything. I mean, is this dude like, how big is his bladder that a pee break has taken 20 minutes?
I don't think he's taking a pee break anymore.
Did he have to
I don't
poo?
think it's a pee break. I think it's upgraded. Yeah, I'm thinking it might have upgraded. I'm not too sure, but I think this is definitely our longest pee break we have ever had currently. Outside of that, though, I mean, it gives us time to talk. It gives us time to yap about things. So, I'm not going to complain too much about it here. Emmeline.
I was going to say we're ready. Because it looks like Malevolent is all back now.
I think we've said that we were ready before, but perfectly fine to say it again. It looks like we are all hopefully, I think, ready here. So hopefully we should be able to get this, oh my lord, started up here pretty soon here. USAE clearly is wanting to get this third game started, considering that it is already 10:30 for some of them. So
let's dive into border.
Yep. Pharah taken out, which we have seen her being played a little bit on both Layer and on Chalet. So they're definitely going to take her off the board here. Are they going to go for that hard breach denial so that it makes it a little bit easier, considering they more than likely will have all 3 hard breach on the board? Or are they just going to opt to push around a different way?
I mean, again, I was about to say, we're just going to see the shield bans. Malevolent does not want to deal with those.
I don't blame them. We are going to see a Castle ban here, though. Castle is pretty strong here, just keeping them out of sight, taking longer, like I said, to push certain angles and keeping people safe upstairs. So taking him off the board, it leaves a lot of open areas. Granted, though, the Azami is still on the board here, and they're gonna bring her out. We're gonna see Relic on the Azami here. Of course, as well, we're gonna see Sonically bringing out the Aruni. We're gonna see a Mute, a Smoke, just some typicals that you'll see here on Border. And of course, like I said, you have all 3 hard reach on the board. We're gonna see Hype swapping off, though, from the Ace, currently swapping to a Thermite here. Curious with the Florist pick here, considering you don't have to deal with taking out any of these castles. Sure, there might be a shield or two or these Azamis that you might have to deal with, but there's not a lot for them to have to deal with. It looks like Panday is having an issue here, or somebody is saying that they need a rehost. They did ask it in the round already. It looks like Panday is slightly lagging just a little bit.
Yeah, he says he's getting really, really bad packet loss, was asking for a rehost. I don't think they're going to award it. What I was going to say, though, is not having the castle shuts down a major extension over into the CCTV side of this map. As typically you use the castle to try and lock down and hold the break room. What we will see, though, which, I mean, is a bit of a weird one, is, yeah, Hype Deer swapping over from the Ace. Honestly, the Ace is usually the better play for how you need to aggress this map, because he is able to rip open that main site wall into a bomb site to give a free plant. However, Relic is gunned down by King, and then Panday now, you know, in a bit of a tough situation with that little bit of lag he's got, and everybody's swinging all around him. However, Keegan cannot even move a muscle because there are rounds ripping through the walls at him. That Flores is being pulled out. Up comes, I believe that is Pin, coming up the east side stairs, chilling with that Lion. MQ2 is very, very low on the Monty from that earlier engagement, as they are now taking themselves in through office. They do have some map control, which is exactly what is needed. Hopefully Pin has a grenade left to assist his team in getting rid of this mute jammer. But so far, it looks like they have not saved one. But are they really concerned about it whenever their plan is just to swing everything down? Probably not. Lue will find Keegan, and then the shotgun coming to play down below to watch a default plant. Little do they know, a Fountainside push is coming, and it is, again, win or go home time. Hype Deer will get wall open. We're going to see Monty coming in for the plant. Panday, the guy who was playing below, the guy who was set up to actually deny this plant, will be taken down. Now it's Sonic left in a 1v, not able to find the Lion, and then he is taken out by Pin, giving the first round to US Army Esports in a flawless round.
Definitely. I mean, watching that Monty when they were first shooting there, you know, seeing Relic taken out, I'm pretty sure it was Relic that was taken out first by that. It looks like we are gonna see a rehost here, though.
Yep, rehost underway.
Oh, and I was not able to leave before. Alright, return to menu, abandon match. I need to turn myself off of Do Not Disturb.
Why?
Oh, I put it on so that it doesn't give me notifications when people are online.
Ah, fair, fair.
Yeah, gets rid of that notification that pops up in the right corner of my screen.
Smart.
But yeah, no, that Monty was able to get that early pick there, just clearing out their entire extension there. I think really was what ended up, you know, being that detriment to that round there, and gave it to USAE. hopefully going back into this after this rehost, they'll be able to, you know, change things around and use that in their advantage here. I do not have bans screenshotted, so I am just gonna really quickly just screenshot the bans there. So we do have them on hand. I'm gonna just crop that real quick and then I'm gonna post it so that in case if anybody doesn't remember, we have the bans on hand, which were the 2 shields, of course. Again, we're gonna see that double shield band coming out, and then we're gonna see the Mira and Castle ban.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Alright, there's the invite coming in from a Q2. Let's get in this lobby. It's 10:30. I want to go play some Helldivers. Bro, I've been loving since it came out on Xbox. Me and all the boys have been playing it like non-stop.
That's fair, that's fair.
Go through. There's Marvel Eye. And there's the invites. Might need to drop sonically. Ooh. Ooh, the trash talk.
And the trash talk is wild.
Yeah, between Marvel Eye, Impulse. Ooh. I'm loving it though. What's up, Wazzy? Yo, I'm looking at you, bro. I see you're watching without audio. That hurts my feelings. Where's the audio at, dog?
You when people watch without audio?
Yeah, you can see it in your chat.
Oh, I'd have to alt tab. I don't feel like alt tabbing.
Like, I can see Marvel Eye was part of the Destiny 2 The Final Shape raid race. Or that Impulse has Prime Gaming. Or that Stream Elements is a bot. No way, really?
Who would have guessed that Stream Elements is a bot?
I mean, you want to know who else is a bot?
Guessed.
A rickshaw. I'm talking to you.
Oh.
Oh. I mean, you are as well.
We're both bots. We're both bots. 10 out of 10.
Yo, you should join
not
up to the
actually
10
casters.
server. We should play some 10s after this.
Should play some what a 10 server?
Yeah.
Oh lordy. I have to get food after this though. I have to
Yeah,
get
but
food and my
we're
friends
playing
want to watch
10s.
on movies. We're gonna watch Thunderbolts.
Ooh, Thunderbolt's is good. At least
I've
that's what I've
seen
heard. I
it
haven't watched it
before,
yet.
but I don't think my parents realize that I've seen it before. I went to see it with some friends in the movie theater. But it's good enough that I'll rewatch it. But no, my mom also made some fried wontons, I think, for dinner.
Ooh.
And they've been ready since, I think, 8 o'clock.
Uh-huh.
So it's been an hour and 30 that they've just been there.
You know what I had for dinner?
What did you have for dinner?
A handful of ibuprofen, half of a warm Gatorade, and a Zen.
Ooh. A warm Gatorade.
Yeah.
Are you okay? What did you... Do you have another concussion again?
No, I'm just a single man.
Oh.
I don't remember asking about Helldivers. I want to hear about how good Lue is. Okay, you know what? We're just going to give a full round of spectating Lue. I'm kidding. I'm not glazing him. We're not going to spectate Lue the rest of the game.
I'll watch a rickshaw the entire game. Okay. You watch Lue, I'll watch a rickshaw. We got the two roamers, basically.
Marvel Eye is just saying, my name's just being thrown around out here, huh? Yeah, bro, it is.
Yeah, your new name, by the way, according to USAE, is Machiavelli, not Marvelli. It's Machiavelli.
It's not even Marvelli, it's Marvel Eye.
Oh yeah, my bad, Marvel Eye. I'm gonna absolutely get screamed at for that one. Oh, lady.
Oh god, Deeping is back in my chat.
Huh?
So there was this guy. He is an absolute blazer for Malevolent. He's like Malevolent fan 101. Comes in and writes these poems about Malevolent in my chat every time that they're playing. I hope we got away with not having him for a game, but he just appeared.
Oh. Oh, that's fair. Hey, I mean, okay, you know, every team needs their hype squads, you know? They need their cheerleaders.
Yeah? I mean, you make a good
They
point.
need their fan bases. Gotta get them glow sticks next.
Mm-hmm. Keegan
Ooh.
popping off. Starting out, he does find the hard breach as a first pick. That's a good one. Laying a lot of damage there into King. I mean, he's just saying, hey, bro, I dare you to swing me. And he's got the Monty just on his back, but Monty can't even come up to assist because Mute is right there watching and, you know, ready to help him. C4 out from Panday does not hit. However, he does have the Capital right on his door. Coming in for a little bit of a swing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a possible run out from Panday later on in this round, as King is already lit and ready to go down. But there is Pin getting a frag there onto Keegan. A good one at that. And Relic sprinting away from a Monty while he still has a C4 in pocket. Giving up that top east control. However, there are two dudes walking up on him. Finds a lot of damage onto Pin, but not enough to actually find a kill. Relic surviving, but getting away there, eating only a couple 9mm rounds in the back from Montaigne. And Monty coming up, swinging right into him. We will see Sonically take one down. Relic with the shotgun, far range. Did not have another one chambered. And is now playing the melee battle game. Taken down by McQ2, one of the best shield players we see quite often. But a knife from Panday finding him square in the dome.
Definitely not a situation you want your Monty in. No matter how good that shield player is, you never want to leave him alone in that 1v1 situation or 1vx. You know, of course, you know, McHugh able to take out one of them there. He wasn't able to get the rest there, as we saw Panday come in for the knife. Absolutely diabolical there. But, you know, bringing it back here for Malevolent, they're not going to go down without a fight. And it looks like this rehost has really helped in their favor here. You know, considering that they were having that packet loss originally before, that they're going to be able to kind of, you know, readjust and figure things out.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well at that. Keeping themselves locked in for this game. And like I said, overall, just doing great. Oh boy, I have to go update my chat bot really, really quick.
Oh no.
There we go. Yep, I just had to go take out one of the commands because it was for a old sponsorship deal I had that is no longer active. And it just popped up and I went, oop, gotta get that away.
So we are gonna see at least, I think, yeah, two of them that are here upstairs playing second floor.
Well, we got a rickshaw here on east stairs, almost finding the Monty's head though. And not very often do you see an alibi, but for watching a rickshaw is, you know, not often, but I will say Malevolent's a team I cast quite often. That's someone he kind of defaults to in certain situations. And this is kind of one of those times when they're like, hey, we need a decent gun. We don't really need much utility. That's when we see him pull that out. Now, it is a upstairs clear. They're trying their best to take as much as they can. We do have Pin now clearing archives. But he's got to take Keegan. Keegan is that last line of defense for all verticality. And the Monty walking over to him from the armory side is going to put him in quite the predicament. However, Luay being gunned down by Relic, we will see Keegan manage to slip himself into the armory office area, giving him a nice free rotate out as needed. Riksha coming up these east stairs, gonna hopefully get aggressive enough to keep his teammate out of too much trouble. And now he does manage to rotate himself to safety. Everybody falling back. Panday being lit from the vertical up above though. Relic is still alive. That's their dock. Their dock has got to stay up. And he manages to slip out with his life, stimming, and now hopefully go find Panday. Go find your man. And Panday ducks just below the bullet. Now out of dock stims, he's nothing more than just an MP5 with an ACOG. Eating a ton of damage. I bet he wishes he still had that stim on him. Pin finding Keegan from the vertical. Everything being ripped open right above sight. And they really don't have anybody off on a good roam here. Nobody that can go actively push upstairs easily. Except Relic, who will lay some damage into McHugh up the metal stairs. But again, this attack has exactly what they need to do. As flashbangs come in, hopefully we'll see Pin drop himself down the hatch and just immediately start opening fire. But McQ2 landing in barbed wire, Relic being dropped by that AR, and a little bit of smoke damage onto him. Smoke is still alive, but Monty will be hitting this plant down. King finding a rickshaw. I believe that was from up above. And now they've got to make their way back to site. King being taken down first. Panday, thankfully still alive for this team. Sonically rotating in. The Monty is low enough. One good smoke takes him. And Sonically going to lay it right to him. The smoke hitting. Not enough to kill him, though, as he swings himself straight into Pin. Pin picking the kill. McQ2 has no HP left on the board. The only thing he can hope for is maybe a free vertical pick. And he will find that onto McQ2. With 14 seconds left, Pin will run upstairs, pulling a 3K, and giving Army the lead.
You know, it looks like we definitely may have our back and forth game here finally. Seeing right now, the rounds are just seeming to go back and forth, at least for the current time being. USAE taking the first round, Malevolent being able to come back in the second round, and then USAE now coming back in the third. I think we're also going to see just a lot of back and forth here of both of the teams playing off of how the other are playing. And it's really going to work in their favor if they're able to adapt that way and able to play around that and pick off the characters they need to and pick off the players they need to.
Yeah, so far it has been working for them. I mean, they're starting to get some of these more sneaky style picks on the Malevolent. You know, that's one thing I'm noticing a lot, that they weren't able to do much on the last map that Malevolent was actually exploiting against US Army. Are these quick one-pick fadeaways. One-pick fadeaway. Now it's kind of working the opposite way, as US Army is getting picks with no refrags. And Malevolent right now just does not have a very good answer for it. Hopefully they're able to maybe pull a good upstairs defense this time. As last, it was only Keegan up there by himself. This time, so far we got a Rickshaw and Panday and maybe Relic going to be playing up here. But I don't suspect the K to stay because, well, he's much more valuable down in sight for late round with that shotgun. Sonically this time electing to bring out a Pulse because they know that they're going to take vertical. They're already planning to lose it. If you have a Pulse, you can deny so much longer and, you know, try and take out a Ram before she gets stuff going her favor. Plus, it gives an early warning system for your guys who are actually bunkering in. Panday eating a lot of damage off rip here as Pin is trying to get aggressive, coming in through tellers, eating a C4 though. That's the Lion pulled off board, and a primary fragger for USAE pulled away as well.
Definitely a huge pick there from Malevolent side, able to take Pin out.
Again, Sonically just playing as this early warning device, giving his teammate live pings of, hey, there's one, you know, somewhere in this general direction outside the map. They do still have a Rickshaw upstairs playing offices, but nobody else with them. Flipping over, let's see what this attacking team is doing. It looks like McQ2 will immediately try just diving himself into sight. He thought it was a free take. Instead, he is gunned down by Keegan. We'll see Hype Deer taken out by Relic. And now upstairs, we got King trying to clear east side, straight over where a Rickshaw was lying in wait. King making a smart play saying, hey, I don't need to take that fight, but he lands himself straight into the eyes of Relic. And now it is Lue in a 1v5. Back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And Panday will close the round out for Malevolent with a flawless defense. You know?
Definitely beautiful job from Malevolent there, you know. In that situation, 1v5, it's not where you want to be.
No, not at all. And, I mean, that just shows we're playing tug of war at this point. This is a game of chess, not checkers.
Oh, definitely. This is going to be a game we are going to more than likely see them go to that overtime match point, possibly.
I got a feeling we will. However, I think when it goes to match point, we're going to probably see a rehost because I don't know who gets the defense starting.
I can check real quick right now. I'm pretty sure because it was map pick by
Decider.
yeah. Decider, it is Army OT defense. So Army
Alright.
has the overtime defense here.
So far, the way these rounds have been going, though, it doesn't seem like it's going to be attacker nor defender sided. This seems to be more of just a, 50-50 split map. So anybody can still realistically take it. We will see Malevolent take a CC side extension now. Even without the castle, they're just going to wing it, which makes it a much, much harder task to do. And, ooh, Lue pulling out the Glock with the switch and the stendo on it. King looks rather confused. Yes, that is a mute there, bro.
Reload.
I had a feeling sonically we'll be getting pushed out here very, very soon, as they've got drones coming in from every which angle on them. Ariksha getting a first pick there, taking out their hard breachers. However, Lue is able to refrag and take down Keegan. A late round Warden is a great pick for him. And now King trying to get aggressive and maybe push himself towards sonically. Really doesn't have anybody to help him out with a double swing here. But if he's able to force a relocation using that drone, he puts himself in a good spot for a pick. Again, no assistance towards him though, which is a bad thing. Sonically still has advantage as he does not need to swing. Flashbang's coming in and sonically will just dip out. Try and escape at least. Giving up all of CCTV control. And Relic finding McHugh too with that shotgun. A little bit of a wild swing there. I thought he was going to land the kill onto maybe Pin, not McHugh. But I think McHugh just screamed, "Get down, Mr. President," and just dove right in front of him. Now, with the main wall still up, there's not much they can do. You can see what the execute was supposed to be with the Rewara. His job was probably to lock him out and then lock sight down. Instead, he's eating a slug right to the face from Relic there. Now into a 4v2. Pin coming up east side. King will find a pick onto Panday. Sonically's there for a re. And Relic's just going to hit a crouch swing. Again, that slug shotty is doing absolute work.
Right in the hip too there. That just shows how much damage that gun does here as well, considering it just tears through anybody, but that's how most of these heavy guns go. So for Twitch, when we've watched them play with the Twitch, with the Aurora, as well as what we see with the Cade here, they just absolutely rip you apart.
Yeah,
of course, like you said, though, it's a game of tug of war. It's 3-2, and I am more than expecting to see USA Army bring this to a 3-3 split now.
I mean, as much as I think they can, if Malevolent keeps their defenses the way they've been, this could go more towards their favor. Now, yes, US Army did have some very, very signifying rounds there, but Malevolent has kept the game very much so in their side so far. Pulling some decent rounds their way, winning a lot of gunfights they shouldn't, and now they're packing 4 C4s.
I mean, even with that, you have Relic going 7-2 here currently. He is just absolutely frying through the opponents here, as well as Panday going 5-2.
Yeah, those two have something to say about this match, and that is, we want this to be over.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we got here. Another vertical hold. This time they got Keegan up there. He does have some assistance of a rickshaw being there, playing over near. I believe the actual call out for this is what the professional term is, Africa, but I could be wrong. But that sandwich window, I mean, Pin really doesn't have much he can do off it besides to stand here and just keep maintaining your pressure. Because if you can keep the pressure up, you can deny, any sort of swings to yourself. which just baits a defender into watching you. Now, we could see a hard B take here, as they do have the Rewara set up, which means they only got to worry about really one way, or maybe, you know, the vertical. But here comes the Yings. McQ2 is taken down. King is taken down. Pin is then fried as he jumps in by a rickshaw. 5v2 situation. A blowback, though, from one of the Nomad mines. But a good execute attempt from US Army Esports. Very well timed. I don't think they were expecting, though, it to be a Warden playing where he was at. So that pretty much nullified the Yang.
Well, that, and then you have he ran right into Relic there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sonic just trying to be aggressive here. Relic will find Hype Deer. And do you think they're going to jump out onto Lue?
Honestly, I can see the tuber route and then the Cade here, both Relic and Sonically getting very aggressive over here, trying to push for that fight. But Pandea is going to be able to get that here with a cheeky little kill.
You know, as soon as he hit that, he was screaming, "One dig!"
Oh, definitely, definitely.
Now, what are you thinking for bans this time around?
Honestly, I think, you know, again, we're gonna see the, spam this key to help MB. I think we're gonna see a possible Clash ban here again, just to get that shield off the board, considering she's the only shield on defense, and we're gonna see Clash getting banned here. Of course, no surprise, we're gonna see USAE is going for these hard breaches, so we're gonna go and take them out. Are we gonna see another Ace and Thermite ban here again? And then are we looking for the Azami or Mira is what I'm thinking we're gonna see here, and we are gonna see the double hard breach as well as the Azami taken out. So it takes that shield off the board, and it gives them no option basically to play a walking shield. Of course, leaving the mirror on the board though, we are going to see that they're going to seem to bring her here, of course, as well, bringing a Goyo, Fenrir, Castle, Frost. Not too typical about seeing the Frost here. Of course, though, Goyo being huge on second floor, and then, you know, having those Fenrirs as well to just assist in these Goyo gadgets. And then the Castle, of course, like I said, to help extend all the way out to CCTV. You know, they have a lot that they can control here. They have a lot of utility to just, you know, completely control the map in their way.
Well, I will give them the same comment that I gave Pandey early on. Y'all gotta pick it up if you want to keep your team competitive in this. Like, absolutely pick her up. Oh. Sorry, my mic just fell off the stand. Having 3 guys on your team with only 1 kill and then another one with only 2. This is the position your team, you know, you gotta stay awake. You gotta stay alive. This is the map that matters. The other 2, oh well, they're done, they're gone. The kills need to be picked up from both teams, really.
Definitely. I mean, you have, you know, of course, your heavy factor here, Pin 4 and 4 though, not doing the hottest here. And Relic is up to 9 and 2. He's just absolutely fragging this game out.
And to see him then go onto the Cali means either he's having a good time or they have an idea. Is my bro DMing? That's a joke. Immediately trying to take that mirror off the board though. Getting rid of one of them. This is a strat we see a lot of teams employing lately because, I mean, an Ash charge is a massive piece of utility that you really don't want to lose. So instead they elect to bring a Cali to pop it. McQ2 eats a ton of damage though, long angle from Sonic. A bit of a weird one at that. Pin finding Keegan though on first pick is a great setup though for this defense. Getting rid of not only the Ash, that massive piece of utility that she is, but that amazing gun on her. Castle now fried down by Sonic. Not a big loss for the defense as he is only a walking gun once his utility is placed and it is already all down. And here comes King swinging, or being swung by a rickshaw, just watching the head angle and managing to pick that one up. 3v4. We do still have the Cali on board though. So it's going to be interesting to see. Maybe a quick scope, man. Maybe add it to the phase montage later. Main wall into A site now coming open by Panday, as there is nothing there to even aggress it. However, he does eat a C4, and that will deal a absolute ton of damage to him. But McQ2 still just chilling downstairs. He really doesn't even have to worry about coming up, because he can play the denial down below. That Callie ripping as hard as she can to try and find the head of King. And he manages just to snake himself around and stay alive. McQ2 now sitting bottom metal stairs. He does have Sonically right up above him, as well as Frost directly to his Sonically's right. I mean, this is one of those, you know, surrounded by everywhere, they can't run from me now moments, as he finds McQ2, as McQ just swings right into him. Relic will find King, that sniper coming into action. And then Sonically will be gunned down by Lue, though. Relic going for the aggressive swing, finding Pin. No time really left on the board here. Has got to just rush in, maybe go for plant, maybe go for a swing, as he will start going for the plant now. Lue gonna waiting as long as he can, as the fuser now has got to be stuck, swinging and finding Relic. And little does he know, Panday is down right there, cleaning the kill up, clutching the round for US Army Esports.
Definitely. I mean, we're going to see that come back here. I think they definitely had a plan with that Callie, but they just weren't able to execute it quite as well as they hoped.
I mean, very, very close.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we are going to see them bringing out that mirror again. Pin on the Scopos again here, looking to see a huge roam. And then bringing basically the same loadout outside of Pin being the only one swapping here. Bringing the Go-Yo again, bringing the Fenrir, and that Frost.
I mean, I got a feeling for this last ban, we're going to see the Fenrir come out. He was a massive pain for Sonically on that last round. Could have been what cost him his life.
Well, I mean, and even in that sense, so Sonically playing the IQ, you know, he has a gadget specifically made to play against characters like Pin and like Fenrir for his gadgets and stuff like that, and he didn't use his ability. It makes you kind of question, you know, you see an IQ and they're still getting hit by a Fenrir. It's kind of one of those moments that you're just like, come on, just use your gadget for a few seconds. We'll be able to see it.
I mean, I'll play the devil's advocate here. I don't think he was much in the mindset of, I should be trying to clear utility now. Because there wasn't a whole lot of time left on the clock, and he was swinging top metal stairs with at least one down below, and he could hear the one on his right shuffling. Now we're going to see Malevolent. What type of attack are they bringing? A top east hard push. Keegan already taking in through like east side stairs, top square. And they're just rotating and immediately rushing in. The Q2, though, is all by his lonesome up here in the offices, playing these feet holes almost perfectly, though. He's a very hard character to clear where he's at. And Hype Deer getting a first pick there onto Sonic, just right outside the main window for objective. Are we watching Malevolent just completely abandon the upstairs take and go downstairs? I think so. Panday now trying to rip open the wall with the last of his ability. Will not be able to get the actual wall open. They need to stop going for this Habana trick because so far they have not been able to get it. McQ2 finding a rickshaw off the upstairs peak. And Relic now trying to rush down Hype Deer and losing his life to it. They're handing them the kills. I think this round will be a US Army round. Panday with the low FOV costing him. 1v5 now for Keegan. They're opening up below. He's got people swinging him up above. Just overall, not a great spot. He does find the down though onto Hype Deer. Pin playing below him, trying to wall bang up. I mean, if he takes this pick onto McQ2, things might go a little bit different for this round. However, McQ2 knows he's there. And Pin will escape over to his other drone. Hype Deer will get revived. And now it is a hard-fought 1v4 if he wants any chance to win this. And there's Pin coming up through the floor.
Definitely. I mean, you know, we're gonna see here USAE like they're just not gonna go down without a fight. And like you said, if we're gonna see this come back to being a back and forth game here, we're evened out again 4-4 here. You know, Pin bringing in the work 7-5 right now, as well as we see the others on the board, you know, slowly bringing themselves up, but still currently none going positive outside of Pin is definitely, I think, a detriment right now, but they're able to slowly be getting these picks and they're slowly bringing themselves back up.
Excuse me. That one hurt. Yeah, US Army is starting to surmount that comeback. Tying things up and just, you know, not winning it or not losing a defense yet. Could it be that they're just very, very defender-sided for border? I mean, a 4-2 split, it might have been all that they needed just to keep themselves competitive in this. Because they're already bringing it back by 2 with not much left of the game. I mean, same can be said for Malevolent, though. They just got to win 3 out, and so far they have failed to do so on 2 attempts.
We are gonna see McQ2 here. He's trying to find a drone. He looked right barely past it, and he's shooting the shelves. Not able to find it. I'm curious if that drone might come back to bite them in the butt here, you know, for playing upstairs.
I mean, it very well could. We do see the aggressive Mira on that half wall facing outside towards the outside east stairs. Now, they are live pinging. There's pings absolutely everywhere. And with Ariksha playing as the Twitch here, I don't think these Miras are going to last very long. As I'm saying that, I'm watching him pop the first one. Keegan already starting to take through and taking all of CC control. Coming for those walls, pushing over. I mean, they still have that Mira facing outside onto the balcony where he's at, being played actively by Fenrir, which limits him massively. Relic finding McQ2 almost immediately. And Luay, now forced out of position, has got to play this hatch and play it perfectly. If not, he will be gunned down as he goes for a rotate. And this vertical is what needs to be cleared out. I don't really think Ram is paying much attention. She's very, very concerned about metal stairs. However, Keegan will find Luay down to a 5v3 as Malevolent has full topside control, as well as a Ram still on board, ready to clear the vertical here. Ah, just an annoying Fenrir trap. Flipping over here, we got Hyped here, almost getting nailed from up above, top metal stairs. That's some drama. Let's go. Ow. As Keegan pulls a double kill, taking King out. However, Pin pulling up for a roam now, going, hey man, if you can just stay alive, I will kill them. A hard flood down sight as Keegan finds Hype Deer. Hype Deer did take Relic. That's Keegan up to a 3k. Pin now coming up. He's gonna run right into Sonic as Sonic is holding the vertical, giving the round to Malevolent. I mean, a really, really good execute from Malevolent, and for some reason, just all of them dropping hatch at the exact same time.
Definitely. I mean, you know, I'm really curious to see the ban here. Like you said, though, we're really expecting to see that Fenrir getting taken off the board here. Now, for Malevolent, you know, who do you think has been the most annoying?
I was gonna say the Ram.
Definitely the Ram. Considering how much she can open up that floor here, you know, you still do have a Buck on board, which you can still use to open up that floor a lot, but he's not as much as a nuisance as that Ram is, because the Ram can just throw her drone, or not drone, but...
It's a drone.
Yeah, she can just throw her gadget down, basically, and then she can move away. Buck having to be there and actually stand where he's opening up these holes makes him a lot easier to nitro. And so it gives you that kind of, you know, worry, are they gonna nitro me or not? We are gonna see, though, instead of taking that Fenrir out, they're gonna go for the Mira, which, granted, not too surprised
I don't agree with.
Mira has been played quite a bit. And it seems like they're not too worried about these Fenrir gadgets. Of course, it looks like they are going to be bringing that IQ here again. hopefully we will see a Riksha using that IQ gadget so that they don't walk into these Fenrirs. But you know, it really just depends on how they decide to play this. Of course, you know, Castle as well on that board, they're gonna use them just to close off any easy entry points or any long angles they might be able to hold.
Yeah, I really don't agree with that Mira ban because Fenrir has been so much of a pain. The Mira, you've countered it every opportunity. You know, there's so much you can do. You can Ash charge it, you can Cali it, you can even bring a Twitch and just pop them. So to see her be someone that they thought had to be targeted out when they've had a Fenrir on board is just, I don't know, not the play in my mind. We will see Pin ripping a first pick into Keegan, getting rid of one of the main fraggers for Malevolent. Mind you, Relic is still standing, though. So there's a chance that they can bring the kill favors back towards themselves. A top east side execute. And what did I just say about that Fenrir? We see it hitting Relic. It's just going to be annoying the whole game. And where's Fenrir chilling at? Oh, down in Customs Inspection. He's going to be playing off-site, ready to rotate up wherever he is needed. Maybe a late-game flank. We don't know yet. However, Hype Deer will get a good swing there, headshotting a Riksha, knocking us down to a 3v5 immediately. Panda eats a little bit of damage there. Not enough to take him out, but enough to annoy him at least. As we see Malevolent now trying to surmount some sort of attacking push here. Yeah, they're going to take this game, I think, to OT. But McHugh is almost gunned down. Dude, look at how much they're stacking up on this fountain. Imagine being the poor guy who runs in there and just sees that. C4 rip from McHugh. We'll find sonically. Relic does manage to get away from that flashbang and tries to find Pin. Not a whole lot of time left here. About a minute to go. As we see Panday walk himself straight down into where Lue is at. Relic will find King, but Hype Deer is there as well. The whole squad was sitting there waiting.
They were all stacked up for that fountain play, and in a sense, they almost read Malevolent like a book, trying to push through fountain there. So, you know, it's gonna bring us back here to 5-5. Like we've said multiple times, this is probably gonna go to overtime here. I mean, it's just a back and forth consistently, but like you said though, again, I'm really concerned about the Fenrir. You know, he has been an absolute pain in the ass for them the entirety of this game, and you know, not taking him off the board I think is probably what's gonna, you know, really be the biggest issue here for this map.
Yeah, I think Fenrir is one of the key bans that should always happen. I mean, I'm not advocating that they should always target ban Fenrir, but I mean, the way that we've seen US Army just abuse him every opportunity that they've had, I would say he's definitely a key ban. He should have been pulled off the board almost immediately. I would have said in the first round of bans. You know, you can deal with a clash. A Fenrir is a little bit harder. However, they must have found the number for McHugh too, because they're just shutting him down. McHugh 1 is playing right now, not McHugh 2. This has got to be the first generation. Down to 2 and 7, not quite hitting the shots he was.
Really interesting here though is we are gonna see Blackbeard and Blitz being played here. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm glad to see the double shield. It'll match the aggression that Malevolent has been trying to pull. And, like, they've been slowed down at every corner. The double shields guarantees that they cannot slow you down. Especially when you got Panday playing it like he is on roller skates right now. Just running in, checking everything, and just full speed ahead. Gangway, here he comes. Peaks one at the bottom metal stairs. I believe that was probably Pin. And Pin manages to pull off. They don't have any sort of vertical to come up and help him out, like, you know, take him out. Panday does eat a little bit of an impact. Not much. That's enough damage to worry about. But a shield against vertical is a very, very bad thing. Because what's the one place that a tank is vulnerable? Underneath.
Mm-hmm.
A smart, thankful play from Sonically, helping a Rickshaw get down the bottom square stairs, getting rid of the pre-placed C4. But Sonically eating some damage for that. See? Being nice doesn't help. As King will find Relic almost immediately. Not even eating that much damage for it either. 4v5 now. We see Keegan starting to maybe pull towards the sight window. I think we're going to see maybe a jump in here. However, there is Fenrir's on the door as well as the fire traps. But Keegan just full sends it anyway. A hatch drop coming in from, I believe, Pandays. He takes bathroom. And a Rickshaw is now upstairs trying to clear the vertical. Swung by the Valkyrie. And now it is Panday left in a 1v3. I don't know who this Visade guy is. No players, no cast, everything is bad. Bro, what are you?
A bot.
Yeah, he goes, what the F is that tourney? No players, no cast, everything is bad. I mean, just close the stream. How about you get out of my chat? US Army now up to match point. Will Malevolent be able to lock it in for one last round to put us into OT?
Oh, I mean, you know, we're hoping to see it. We've seen the constant back and forth here, of course, so I'm sure that these dudes on USAE here are wanting to close this out here and just get this over with, considering it is now 11:15, I think, for all of them here. It's getting late. They're wanting to go to bed. People are going to start getting tired. And I think that's one of the things that we might see here, you know, giving some stuff to Malevolent possibly is that, you know, or possibly even to USAE, is that people are going to start getting tired. What? My Discord didn't just die. Or that you didn't just die.
What?
Oh, okay, you're still there. No, you're just quiet.
Yeah.
I tried leaving it open-ended for you to kind of chime in, and then there's just some silence. I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was on the other line.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, what have we got coming here? It is a vent workshop with a vertical extension. I mean, with Pin and Luay on the roam, things could get rather interesting for Malevolent depending how they choose to battle and challenge this. If Malevolent is able to pick one or both of these roamers without losing a body, I got a feeling things will go their way. However, Hype Deer is eating almost immediate damage, so not off to a great start. Hype Deer is another one. If they can manage to pick him without, you know, it costing very much for their team, things will go smoothly. However, C4 is ripped below, and here comes Keegan on the Blackbeard running up. Gotta get rid of these cameras, and they gotta start clearing through this map. Panday taking the office control. Let's see where Keegan's at. He's all the way over in security now. Relic on his drones. They've got to get these guys droned out of upstairs, and they got to get in there and get going. Rickshaw does eat a ton of damage, though, from, I believe, a Capcan trap. Come on, bro. You're the IQ. Keegan going down to Pin, though, is a hard pick to lose. That's a Blackbeard very early on without even taking a body with it. We got a Rickshaw now tucked in, being found by Pin, and the Malevolent team is starting to fall apart now in this middle round area. They just gotta hope Panday can manage to clear this last guy who's up here in security and stay alive. Relic eating a ton of damage from down below. I believe that's a C4 pre-place. And not a whole lot of options left for him. Panday is found by McHugh 2v5 for a chance to go into the finals. I believe whoever wins this will take on Synergy in a grand final match. Relic will find Pin. Sonically going down, going for plant. We do see one get taken down. There's King dropped by Sonic. 1v3 for him now. He's got to be a kingmaker in and of himself. He's got to win out here. And, I mean, honestly, oh, I was about to say challenging Hype Deer would be the best play, but he goes into McHugh 2 first. And that'll be the game going in USAE's favor as they go on to take on Synergy for the grand finals.
Oh, I thought my game had absolutely just died. Oh, I think it. Nope. Okay, we're chilling. It's just being weird.
The game's just being a little bit broken.
Just a little bit.
All right, let's see if any of the USAE guys want to come in and interview. Let's see.
Oh, now I'm in a dedicated server. Yeah, my game was decided to be wonky. Love to see it.
Love to get pin. Wow, McHugh 2 is instantly going into trash talk. Go for charm for what? Let's see if they send anybody in here to talk, though.
Looks like they are sending somebody. It looks like they're sending Pen in here, so.
Good. Would love to get some interviews with the guys who are moving to finals. For Malevolent, I love you guys. We'll see you next, probably next season. And I'll definitely see you guys later in the week. Or, well, probably later in the month. Who joined up?
What's up,
Who's
Pen?
here?
What's up?
Is that
What's
Pinhead?
up, guys?
Pin,
It
Yes,
is
sir.
indeed Pen.
how you feeling? You got a chance to roll in and take the MPL crown.
Yeah, we're excited, man. Look, that was a long series. Ups and downs, trials and tribulations. McHugh was pissing me off. But hey, we won that shit.
What was
yeah.
McHugh doing?
McHugh, man, he gets flustered, but that's all right.
Hey, that
The
happens.
team kept it together, and we fucking got the dub, man. That's what
Now-
matters.
Who are you pinning the MVP crown on for your team?
You know, fucking, we have new players,
Yep.
and I really got to give it to them too, because they are trying to fit into our system, and they're doing a great job. They're great players. They wouldn't be doing so well if they couldn't naturally play off of the three of us, Louis, myself, and McHugh. So I would say King and the freaking Deer, yeah, they're holding it down for us, and they're doing a great job.
So what's it like going from your main starting two guys who are now out being heroes to your two new
Right.
subs in? Is it a bit of a hard, clash in to try and work them in, or are they like just instantly starting to click with you guys? Because I know the three of you guys got very good chemistry together. Are these guys just sliding into place, or is it kind of like, oh boy, I can't wait for our starting two to come home?
So yeah, at first, you can feel the anxiety a little bit from one of the players, but he pulled it together. Our hard support, Deer, he is always just doing the right thing at all times. He's hitting the C4s we need him to. He's freaking holding down the site like we need him to. So I think there are growing pains, but the longer we play together, the less there will be,
Well, you know what takes away growing pains really, really good and really, really easily?
Fucking winning.
Winning a championship takes away all the growing pains almost immediately.
Hell yeah, it does. Hell yeah, it does. We're taking
All
that
right.
top spot.
I got faith in y'all. I mean, Synergy's my boys. They got, like Masamitsu and some of the like top players in the game right now, but I got some faith in y'all. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, you guys just gotta keep that camera on their freaking on their controllers that they like to use,
Mm-hmm. Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
we
just-
faced them before.
how was it?
and we're
Did
not-
you win?
No, I don't even remember the score line, but it wasn't like a dramatic loss, It wasn't like we got embarrassed. I
Yeah.
think with a little bit more practice with this roster, I think we'll be very competitive, if not win.
All right. Do you got any like other games coming up? What's coming up soon for y'all?
So right now we're in second place in AEL, another
Alright.
competitive league. We are facing Corvus Core, and we are looking to take that prize pool home. Corvus Core we are not worried about them. So
I was supposed to say,
they
what
are sitting
do you
there
have to say to
watching
Corvus Core?
Well, they're fans, bro. They've been watching all of our games lately. Like, they just want to be like us. I feel like we're active duty army, and we're still better than all these kids, bro. We have a day job. We go to PT. We fucking go deploy and shit, and we're still better than these guys, man. I'm telling you, no one's getting in our way, bro.
That
We
is
tripped
setting
and
the
fell on
bar
Chalet,
really
but
high.
yeah, that's how we think. We're not going into a. I said this in the last interview, bro. We're not going into a fucking league and thinking we can't win it. What's the point?
I agree with
Just
that.
to have
I see
fun?
it.
No, we're here to win, dog. We're not here to fuck around. So,
I
and
like that
then
mentality.
yeah, man. And these guys are fans, bro. They've been watching all of our AEL leagues games. Like, they want to be like us. I promise you.
It's more we just WOD review.
Right. Oh, wait, what? Who is this?
Hi, I am Coach for Corvus. Nice to meet
Yeah,
you.
I bet
That
you
was
are.
my co-caster.
Yeah, your
That's
co-caster
crazy.
tonight was the coach for Corvus.
I hope you were nice. I'm gonna go watch the VOD tonight.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
Always like to be nice.
No.
Hey, I have to come into these with absolutely no like.
oh, screw that. I got an
Bias.
agenda when I come into these.
Oh well, yeah, no. Four is like I'm rooting for this team, and I'm just like I just cheer
See,
on both team depending on
tonight
who's
was
doing
hard
better,
for me.
you know.
Because, like, Malevolent's my boys. I like hanging out with the Ricksha and Sonically. Like, I chill with them. We play some rank now and then. But I've been loving USAE, like, watching them. Because what is this, like, my 4th or 5th time casting you guys? So, it's just been a team. It's like, dude, I love watching them play. Like, so, to watch you guys duke it out in a semifinals, nonetheless, is like, couldn't this have been finals? Like, I'd rather it been a BO5. Can we load in? See if your team wants to go for another round. I want to keep this going. Want to go play 10s?
Wait. Hey, we gotta rest and recover. That's part of being a competitive, right? You gotta rest and recover. You'll see us next time, though. I hope.
Oh,
Definitely,
for sure.
Definitely.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Do you guys have any more questions?
I have just a small shout out is considering y'all are army and stuff, just a little shout out is thank y'all for everything that y'all do outside of siege and all of that for what y'all do for everyone else.
Absolutely. Thank you for your support. It means a lot.
Always
Love you.
All right, GG guys. See you. I'll see you, honey bun, freaking when we slam your team. Okay. See you
And
guys.
I'll see you in the grand finals of this league.
Hell yeah, you will.
You
Bye.
might see me with him. It depends on the day.
Oh god, I'd rather
Alright.
eat a shotgun first.
Damn. I see how
Wow.
it is.
Nah,
see how it is.
we chilling. We might get it. I don't know. I don't know, man.
My only issue is my college classes.
My only issue is I don't want to be
Well, it's
time
not
torched for
bad.
12 hours.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
Alrighty.
valid. I don't want to deal with that either. Anyways, but do you want to give a little closing speech to close out these streams?
Honestly, I just want to say, like, thank you for everybody who came out here to support and, like, watch these streams. Because this is just a small grassroots league. Like, this isn't nothing, like, big, you know? So to see the love and support from everybody in chat and everybody just showing up to watch it. Oh, excuse me. I don't think you guys get the impact that it has for us as casters and entertainers. Like, we're nothing more than just a tool to show you guys everything. But even whenever we see you guys then coming in and throwing love to us for doing it, love to the league. But for me, it's the love to the players that is the best thing. Because, like, it's like buying a jersey for an NFL player, man. They get it. Cool. We're not that big. So when you guys come in and you're like, hey, yo, I love that McHugh 2 guy, that brightens his day up. He's playing great and he's got a support system behind him. So I don't know. I love the support from the community that we've been having a lot lately, especially for the MPL. One of the first multi-platform leagues. So to have you guys all out here and, showing love to it, supporting it, means a lot to me because I kind of help with some of the upbringing of this one. But yeah, y'all are just the best. For the community, we love you guys. Y'all are awesome. Any closing?
Outside of that, hopefully we'll see y'all for the finals here, Synergy versus USAE. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it'll be 4 and I casting that here again. Duo casting, like Four said though, please make sure you bring your food and snacks. It is likely to be a long game. Outside of that though, y'all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank y'all for both tuning in to our streams, and we'll see you next time.
See you on the next one. Let me set up the raid for why not.
Oh, I always forget to set up raids. Twitch.
Everybody jump in the raid. Let's go see our boy.
Support and like
Raid channel. Let's find
because
one.
this is just a small.
Nope, that's you.
grassroots
Who
league,
are we
like,
raiding?
I'm going for
this
why
isn't
not be casting.
nothing like
Okay,
big,
spell
you
it.
know?
Why not?
See the love and
Or
support
just a
from
Y
everybody
N O T
in
underscore
chat
B underscore
and everybody
casting.
just showing up to watch it. Oh, excuse me. I
Tim,
don't think you guys get the impact
we're starting
that
this raid.
it has for us as casters and entertainers. Like,
Alrighty.
we're nothing more than just a tool to show you guys everything. But even
Apparently you got
guys
rage
then
baited, by
coming
the way,
in,
as
throwing
said
love to
by,
us for doing it, you know, love of
Soldier.
the league.
Okay.
But for me, it's the love of the players that is the best.
So I think it's one of them
Like,
that
it's like
that
buying a
was
jersey for an NFL
and
player.
saying that.
Oh no.
Fantastic dead.
Top.
Alright, let me go.